What is going on, hockey fans? And welcome to Game 2 of the Eastern Conference first round matchup between the New Jersey Devils and the New York Rangers. My name is Neil Villapiano, the host of the Devil's State of Mind podcast here on the Hockey Podcast Network, which covers the New Jersey Devils, alongside my partner, Kyle Manifold. We welcome you to this live watch-along of Game 2. The New York Rangers, with a dominant 5-1 win in Game 1, have the 1-0 lead with a chance to take both games in New Jersey, heading back to the Garden, Madison Square Garden, for Games 3 and 4 over the weekend and into next week. For the Devils, it's an opportunity to tie the series up and go to the Garden with a chance to try to retake the home ice advantage. And as always, guys, this live watch along and everything we do here at the Hockey Podcast Network are sponsored, as always, by our wonderful friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. And with the Stanley Cup playoffs underway, NBA playoffs as well, baseball's rocking and rolling, you already know DraftKings is the number one place to get everything, to get in on the huge cash prizes. So make sure you sign up with DraftKings Sportsbook. Use our promo code, which you can see in the bottom right corner here, THPN. And yeah, join in on all the action. And don't forget to bet responsibly. And also, lastly, guys, make sure to leave a like on the stream if you like what you see. Subscribe and punch notification bell so you don't miss any new live watch-alongs that we do right here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. This is the second of two that we're actually doing right now. We have two live watch-alongs that are going on at the exact same time. We're also doing a live watch-along of the Leafs Lightning game number 2. At last we checked, it was 1-0 Toronto on an early goal from Mitch Marner. But Kyle, we are here, game number 2. Same arena, same two teams, just 2 days later. And clearly the Devils' inexperience showed in game number 1. The Devils will need to have a much better game and a much better answer. They want to try to even up this series. And as for the Rangers, I think it's fair to say that if they just keep doing what they're doing, they should have continuous success against this young Devils team.
Yep, you said it. I had to bring up some stats. I talked about it beforehand, and I think it's important just to summarize what we saw in Game 1, right? So something the Devils need to work on is the giveaways. They gave away the puck 13 times in Game 1 compared to the Rangers only 2. So the Rangers held on to the puck, for the majority of that game, and, they didn't really do a lot of costly mistakes, right? Another thing the Rangers did well is not only did they have Shesterkin in net, who was phenomenal that night, but when they needed to block shots. They had 23 block shots throughout the entire game, and I believe the Devils only had about 12 or 13, which isn't too bad, but still, those were a couple of key factors, I thought, in Game 1. So yeah, the Devils tonight, I'm expecting a bounce back. I'm expecting a good game tonight. I think we deserve a good game after all the craziness that happened. All the craziness that happened in Game 1. Right. I think we're going to get a good one tonight. And kind of what maybe I talked a little bit about in Game 1 about Vanacek. I think he's going to be the important guy to start here in the first 20 minutes, right? He's an important guy to look at. He didn't have the best start, obviously, we saw in the first period. Well, now, guess what? It's a clean slate, 0-0, and he gets another opportunity to shine. So we'll see what happens.
We shall see. Another thing to mention, Devils were 0 for 4 on the power play in game number 1 and also did not register a single shot on net on any of those 4 power plays. So clearly they have to do better on special teams. They also were only 1 of 3 on the penalty kill. So the Rangers definitely took advantage of said man advantage. So special teams has to be better tonight for the Devils. For the Rangers, it's just like I mentioned before, continuing to play your game, play your system as they did in game 1 to a T, and you should continue to frustrate this young Devils team. Devils making a couple of changes throughout the lineup and as well as adding some guys into the lineup. Jonas Siegenthaler surprisingly being benched. He is a healthy scratch tonight. Brendan Smith comes in replace of him. Everybody on the left side moves up one line. And Brendan Smith is going to play on that third pairing line. Yegor Sharangovich comes into the lineup for Jesper Boquist, who is a healthy scratch. Miles Wood gets moved up to the third line. You have Timo Meier, Nico Hischier, and Dawson Mercer as your first line. And then you have Palat, Jack Hughes, and Jesper Bratt on your second. I kind of like the switch up here. I think the Devils definitely needed a shakeup to get some energy, to try to get some different looks, and ultimately to get some goals because, again, the Devils did score, but it came via the penalty shot thanks to Jack Hughes, his first career playoff goal. But they certainly need to find a way to get more goals, especially 5-on-5. Because if you look at it 5-on-5 in game number 1, the Devils were the much better team. So if the Devils could stay out of the penalty box a lot and play a lot of this game 5-on-5, and when they get their chances on the power play, obviously get the puck on net and also score on at least one of them, the Devils should have much more success. And I think a lot of people, including both of us, certainly expected. Just want to let you guys know again, don't forget to leave your score predictions in the chat down below. You have until the end of the first intermission to make your predictions. I actually put mine in earlier today. I'm going to go with the Devils to win this game 5-2. So I expect them to come out a lot better. I expect this game to be close. I say 5-2 because I think probably we will see an empty net goal, just like we did in game number 1. I know some people think this might go to overtime, and obviously a lot of things can happen. One positive for the Devils: 3 out of the 4 teams that lost game number 1 2 nights ago bounced back and got the win in game number 2. So hopefully the Devils can continue that trend, tie the series up, and head to Madison Square Garden for games 3 and 4. Again, game 3 will be Saturday at the Garden at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then game 4 will be on Monday night as well at Madison Square Garden. Jeff Nelson, what is going on, man? Thank you to everybody, as always, for jumping in. He's going to go with a close one, 5-4 Devils. So we got 2 Devils predictions. Kyle, what is your prediction for this one?
I have to agree with Jeff, actually. He beat me to the punch. I think it's going to be 5-4. I can see why you say empty netter. But I think, just going back to the keys for this game coming up, especially for your Devils, is just watching a little bit of the highlights that are happening before the game. Shesterkin got a lot of really good looks in game 1, right? So I think you got to put a couple more bodies in front of the net, give him a little bit, make him a little bit more uncomfortable, try to screen him as much as you can. Again, a lot of good looks that he had to. And maybe if I'm looking at a specific player, because they were bringing up some of the stats here too, Jesper Bratt, no points, no shots on goal in the first game of this series. So I expect Bratt to be a big contributor into game 2 as they're getting on the ice here. I don't know what the stream's like for you, but they're getting on the ice for us.
Just moments away from the start of game number 2, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and then again, non-biased here. If I'm looking at the Rangers here, it's really holding down the fort again, right? It's making sure that Shesterkin's going to see everything, kind of what I said before. I mean, with the Devils and what they need to do. But yeah, it's making sure that Shesterkin still sees everything that's happening, keeping the puck in front of him, keeping his eyes, everything that's happening in front of him, making sure that he still sees everything, and then special teams is going to be key again. It was very successful for the Rangers we saw in game 1. I think that's going to be key again coming into game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. We already have a cut. We have another prediction. Dennis going with a 4-1 win for the Devils. Jacob, of course, he's going with another ballsy pick, another blowout win for the Rangers, 6-2. In this one, as you can clearly see, Jacob is not a fan of mine and not a fan of my team. But I would like to just remind you, Jacob, that your team got absolutely smoked by the Winnipeg Jets at home in game number 1. So, and by the same score, I believe. So, I don't know if the smack talk is necessary at this moment. But Jeff, really quick, he's asking Kyle where he's located.
I'm about 4 hours north of Toronto, so I'm actually freezing my ass off in Sudbury right now, where we just got a beautiful rain shower today. And believe it or not, we still have snow on the ground. It's great.
Wow.
I love April.
You gotta love Canada's Patrick Elias, former Devil legend. He is getting the crowd fired up as both teams are on the bench. Devils this season, since January 1st, Kyle, are 14-2-1 after a loss. This is a team that responds after losing. So clearly the message is the same. It's about rebounding. It's about bringing that energy. And it's obviously about getting the puck on net and being absolutely relentless. So we will see how this one goes. Devils are going to start with their number 1 line of Timo Meier, Dawson Mercer, and Nico Hischier. Vitek Vanacek and Igor Shesterkin are the goaltenders. So for the most part, it's pretty much the same, and we'll see what these 2 teams have in store for us. The puck is dropped, and we are underway at the Rock for Game 2 of this Eastern Conference first round matchup between the Devils and the Rangers. So we'll see how both teams come out here in the first couple of minutes as Nico Hischier gets it top of the point to Marino, takes a wrist shot through traffic, pops up in the air, and goes out of play as Shesterkin makes a save. And already, Kyle, we have a little pushing and shoving. It looks like it's Timo Meier and Chris Kreider. Jacob Trouba having a little bit of smack talk as well. So once again, as we talked about in game number one, these two teams still do not like each other.
They're just saying hi. That's all they're doing. They're just saying,
oh, yeah, Jacob Trouba doing his best Brad Marchand impression, sticking out the tongue right in front of Timo's face.
Yeah.
Guys, this is a children's program. We don't need that. We don't need any more of that Brad Marchand nonsense. Although I do think Marchand is the funniest player in the NHL by a long shot. And this is coming from somebody who got pissed at him last week. But Devils win the draw. As that shot by Dougie Hamilton was redirected at the last minute. Shesterkin had to make a save. But here come the Rangers coming the other way as Tarasenko almost got the puck, regains it, feeds over to Trocheck with a shot, and that one is stopped by Vitek Vanacek. So a point-blank save from Vitek, and I think he needed that early on, Kyle, to just kind of, he had a rough game number one, and he knows he has to come up big in game number two, and that was a really good save right away as Adam Fox shoots one from center ice, and Vitek makes the save easily.
Yeah, for sure. Vanacek just got to settle in, right? It's what we talked about, and he's just doing that, right? He's just going back to work.
As Miles Wood gets checked along the boards there by Chris Kreider, but Wood trying to get it back here as the Devils' third line is on right now. It's Wood fighting along here, and eventually Lafreniere gets it. So here come the Rangers' kid line as Kaapo Kakko drops it off to Mikkola. Mikkola with a shot that gets deflected up and out of play. If you guys hear some noise in the other room, I don't apologize for that. So you're just going to deal with it. Got some other people watching. I don't know what they're watching. They might be watching. We're also big Brooklyn Nets fans in this household, and the Nets, game 3 of their first round matchup against the Philadelphia 76ers is going on right now. So Nets down 2-0 in that series. But we're here for hockey. Again, goaltending matchup, Kyle, Vitek Vanacek, Igor Shesterkin. Pretty much what you'd expect.
Yep, not surprised. I think my question would be is if Vanacek, let's say he doesn't have a great, game 2, do you think about switching it up for game 3?
Yeah, I think that's exactly the way that I look at it. Even some people were wondering about, if Akira Schmid, who's the backup right now, should start game number 2. Sure. Just to also mention, Devils 16-8 in a game 2 after a game 1 loss in playoff history. So again, a lot of things history-wise on their side, but obviously this is the present, and the Devils certainly have to take advantage of the present here in an opportunity to try to even up this series. Our good buddy Gaza, who again, it is so late where he is over in the UK. He's going with a 4-3 win for the Rangers. So he's actually going with a closer game than game number 1, but he still has, of course, the blue shirts getting the dub. And RJ giving us a score update. Thank you, RJ. It is 2-0 now. Toronto over Tampa Bay in the first. So the Leafs with a much better response here in game number 2 after dropping game number 1 is Dougie Hamilton with a shot that gets blocked. But good start for the Leafs. And hopefully the Devils can have the same.
Yeah, I don't think people are surprised. I don't think people are surprised with that whatsoever.
No, not at all.
I'm not surprised with it, right? you expect that. You don't have Hedman, you don't have Kernak. You're leaving Vasilevsky out to dry a little bit.
And, look, you know what? They've already done the job. They've stolen the home ice advantage, and that's, that's the most important thing. And then, look, there's still a lot of hockey left to go. So, it's not over by any means. That shot there by Jimmy Vesey is sticked away by Vanacek. The Devils dump it into the zone, and actually it's going to be enough for an icing face-off back in the New Jersey zone. New York Rangers with a disappointing 31-44 all-time record in game number 2s of series. So clearly game number 2 has not been kind to the Blue Shirts in their history, which I find to be very strange considering they're an original 6 team, but
I was going to say, that's a lot of game 2s for a team that's been an original 6, right? I
just
expected more. Like
maybe just because they're an original six team, I just assumed that they would have a better record in
Fair.
game number twos. But who knows? As now Nico Hischier tried to tuck it home, but that one gets stick lifted. A good play by Lindgren. As now he'll try to control it here as a backhand it over. Actually, it's taken away by Nico Hischier. Mercer almost got it on his forehand, and then the Rangers are able to dump it back out of the zone.
No.
One guy, and obviously this is somebody that's a big-time name, a guy that wasn't much of a factor in game number one is now a drop pass there to Timo just out of the reach. Kyle, is actually Patrick Kane. He was very quiet in game number one. He
was sneaky quiet a little bit too. Didn't see much really of him going on. Like even on the power play too. I don't think he was really. I don't think he had a lot of shots either. Really.
No, he didn't. He was like I said. He kind of had a quiet game as Tarasenko's shot hits off the post there as he caught Vitek by surprise as the Rangers nearly squeaked one by early on. We get an icing here against the Devils as both teams' fans just immediately stood up. I love this energy. This is great. I really love this. And oh my, it is now 3-0 Toronto in the first period.
I mean, come on.
A flip of game one. And I guess we're gonna get blowouts in the early on in that series. I mean, if you were looking for goals, that might be the series you got to tune into because neither goaltenders have been 100% on their game through the first almost 4 periods, of that. Is now here comes Jesper Brett up the right side, tries to make a backhand feed, but that one got broken up. Rangers come back the other way, potential 3-on-2. Panarin drops off the Tarasenko just out of the reach of Trocheck, and now the Devils come back the other way. As now here comes Palat dumps it into the right corner. Now he uses the power move. Now gets over to Jack Hughes with space. Hughes throws it in front. That one is stopped by Shesterkin's sharp angle. And the Rangers are able to slowly, as both teams will make a change, get it out. So Devils, again, putting on some early pressure like they did in game number one. Yep. But again, like you talked about in the last game, Kyle, it's not about the quantity. It's more about the quality of shots for the Devils if they want to find a way to get a couple past Shesterkin tonight.
Yeah, you can't let Shesterkin get comfortable early in the first. You can't let him find a groove, right? So, even if it's just scrums in front of the net, give him a little poke, like nothing too major that's going to force yourself to give you guys a penalty. You got to make him feel something here, right? So don't let him get into that groove because as soon as he does, he's going to be very tough to beat.
Exactly. You saw that even at times with Ilya Sorokin. Is that turnaround shot is stopped by Vanacek. We get a cover, but then everybody goes and grabs the man again. As now Kevin Ball and Adam Fox holding on. Filipino and Fox both holding on to one Devil player. Lafreniere and Tatar having a laugh, which is kind of. They're the only ones not fighting, or at least having choice words. Capo Caco and Eric Holla having some words. So, again, very nice. Appreciate the comment. Appreciate the comment. I really wish there were more Devils fans in here. Maybe they'll jump on as...
I'm here for emotional support.
Thank you, Kyle.
I got you.
Well, I mean, you don't have a dog in the race because unfortunately the Calgary Flames did not make the playoffs this year. But we won't, as you said in game number one, we won't talk about that.
No, we don't. Jeff, why? Why?
Twice. Why? There you go. My good buddy Andrew H. I see is also in the chat. He's a good friend of mine, big Devils fan. Andrew, good to see you as always. Lindy Ruff. Actually talking with one of the linesmen here. I don't know exactly what about per se. Maybe he was looking for some sort of call. But anyway, so we get back to the game here as the face-off to the left of Vitek is eventually won by the Devils. A little bit of bouncing there. Severson now with the puck. And we actually have a penalty coming up here. And it's going to be against the Devils. So... that's kind of a surprise. I'm not sure what the call is as we got Wes McCauley doing this game tonight. As, of course, Kyle, we talked about it off air. It's Brendan Smith. As he routinely does this, takes a penalty. He's going to get a 2-minute, I guess, interference on Tyler Mott. Not sure. Well, he hit Mott from the back of the head, so that was a dumb penalty.
Yeah,
so, the Rangers, whose power play was 2 for 3 in game one, will now have a chance early on in game two to grab the lead, and we'll see if they can do that here. Brendan Smith, again, coming in the lineup for Jonas Siegenthaler And at the 5:17 mark, and I'm sure a lot of us Devils fans are more and more getting angry at Lindy Ruff that he decided to play Smith over Siegenthaler, but we'll see here. Danelle, good to see you, man. Thank you as always, guys, for hanging out with us.
I was just about to ask, where's your wine?
You got it right here.
Oh, you got it. There we go.
I have it right here as the Devils clear it here, as they've already cleared it twice. Again, Rangers power play, 2 of 3 in game 1, 4 shots. They were very aggressive. Both goals came from Chris Kreider, deflection in front. I would expect the Rangers, once they get it set up, probably do the same thing as Patrick Kane. Takes a shot, and that one was fought off by Vitek Vanacek, and Sharon Govich clears. And we just talked about Kane, Kyle. Quiet game 1, but right there, a really good chance for the man that they call Showtime. Yep. But Vanacek fights it off there.
I mean, we've been waiting for it, right? Like, there's only a certain time where he's going to pop off, right? But again, same thing on the other side with Jack Hughes. Obviously he had the penalty shot goal. Who's going to break out first for this Devils team? And again, mentioned it at the beginning with Jesper Bratt. He was too quiet in game 1, just like the rest of the Devils forward unit. If I'm being blunt, you need him. You need somebody to step up a little bit here, right? As much as it is, to have that chemistry and whatever lines you need to switch up your first 3 or 4 lines or whatever you have there, you gotta have somebody just say, you know what, I'm taking over.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, the Rangers with a couple of really good shots, both Kreider and Panarin missing the net pretty badly, and they had a lot of space. They're showing the replay here. Again, Kane trying to give it to Panarin, and I think Panarin shanked it a little bit because he kind of skated off balance on that one. But Devils right now still got 38 seconds to kill, but they've actually been able to clear the puck at least 3 times on this penalty kill. So they've had some success here in the early goings, but still, like I mentioned, got 38 seconds still left to kill on the Brendan Smith 2-minute penalty. And my good buddy Joseph, predictable Brendan Smith penalty. Yes, it is not a Devils game without Brendan Smith taking a penalty. This is what he does. And luckily, he only takes 1 per game. So for him to take it this early is like totally fine with me. As we got 20 seconds to go on the Ranger power play, trying to get it back in the zone here. Trocheck drops it off to Philip Hedl. Hedl backhands it around to Lafreniere. He gets it to Tarasenko, who will now wrap it around the other way with 10 seconds to go on the power play. Now the Devils get the puck. They're just going to dump it into the Rangers' right corner, and that'll do it for the Ranger power play. So despite a couple of good shots from the Rangers, the Devils, Kyle, are able to kill it off, and the fans waving those rally towels certainly appreciate killing off those 2 minutes.
Yep, it's a good kill. That was an important one, right? It just kind of sets the tone a little bit, right? And they needed to kill it. There was no, you can't go down 1-0 if they score in the power play there. You just can't.
No, you cannot. 12:37 to go in the first period. Still no score here. Game 2, Eastern Conference, first round matchup between the Devils and Rangers. Again, Rangers won game 1 decisively 5-1, have the 1-0 lead. After this, the series shifts to the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. And speaking of Madison Square Garden, they're once again promoting the 1 millionth Billy Joel concert because that's only where he performs ever nowadays.
That's awesome.
I think with Billy Joel, he only performs at the Garden now anyways. He doesn't go anywhere else. And it makes sense. He gets millions of dollars every couple of months from so many people seeing Billy Joel 8,000 times.
Yeah, why would you go to more than one, right? If you know you can book out, you can sell out the MSG, right, every few months, then why would you go anywhere else?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know.
I for the rest of the countries, but whatever.
Fair enough. I don't know, Kyle, if you've ever been to Madison Square Garden, but I will tell you this, that they've certainly done a lot of I don't know if you'd say improvements, but certainly have made a lot of modifications over the years. It feels like a museum when you're inside.
Yeah.
In many ways, with all the history and everything. What's going on, Andrew B? Good to see you, man. As always, hope you're doing well. You must be happy about your Maple Leafs off to a fantastic start in Game 2 against the Lightning. But we thank you for hanging out with us. Oh, you mean the flower pot? Yes, that's exact, Andrew. That's what I mean. With Madison Square Garden.
That's on the bucket list. I'm hoping.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's I think if you're a tourist, it's more amazing. But I guess because I'm a local, because I'm only an hour and change away from it, right. I see it all the time, and it doesn't really I don't like go crazy about it, but
You're like,
I've seen some
ooh.
pretty cool events there over my time. As now the Devils win the faceoff here, so we're back to the action. Jesper Bratt with the puck gets it, or tried to get it to Damon Severson, but a good stick lift there by Tyler Mott. And shots right now, Kyle, 7-2 on goal. Shots on goal, 7-2 in favor of the Rangers. So again, that power play, despite not scoring on it, definitely got the Rangers going a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? It's 7-2, but you take away that power play from them, and we're looking at a little bit more of an even shot on, shots on goal. Then again, it's early; it's what you expect. And then just real quick, if people were wondering who scored for the Leafs and Lightning there, we talked about Marner getting the power play goal early on, 47 seconds in. John Tavares and William Nylander were the other two goal scorers, in case anybody was wondering. And I'm doing great, Andrew. Thank you very much. Just doing good. I have my trusty can of water.
Nice. I have water, and I also do have the wine, as always, guys. So do not fret.
Yep.
I am locked and ready to go. I took a nap before this game. I am rested. I am really excited, as always, to be doing this with you guys, and obviously with my good friend Kyle's be getting offsides here against the Devils as they try to get into the zone here, and then David Severson and Ryan Lindgren with some choice words, maybe talking about what they're going to do after the game, but nonetheless.
Is that a thing you do like a lot before if you do like a live stream? Are you taking a nap, like a good like hour, 2 hour nap?
I take a good solid 30-minute power nap. That's
nice.
My thing. 30 minutes is more than enough for me in terms of naps. Because once after 30 minutes it becomes a deep sleep, and you don't want that, especially if you're sleeping in the middle of the day.
Yep.
But yeah, 30 minutes and I'm good. So like I said, I'm energized, I'm ready, and everything like that. 3-0 Toronto over the Lightning after one period of play. So great start for the Leafs. It's Dougie Hamilton with a wrist shot that gets deflected wide. Kevin Ball has the puck now as both teams kind of whacking at it, and eventually the kid line is able to slowly get it out of the zone. Sharon Govich fighting along with Capo Kakko. Good use of the power move there by Capo Kakko. He's kind of fighting off Sharon Govich. But now Sharon Govich takes the puck. He avoids a big hit from Lafreniere. Puck comes out in front to Hedl, but his shot just softly goes into the left corner. So the Devils are looking to try to get it out of the zone. They get it off the boards, and I think it might have hit off somebody and went out of play.
Yeah.
So no delay games. So we get into the stoppage with 11:17 to go in the first.
Still a quick stat there they were showing for the Rangers. Adam Fox had 4 assists in game 1.
Yes, he was a big factor.
Talk about.
Yeah, absolute big factor for them.
Yep, 4 assists, 3 hits, and he played 20 minutes of ice time in game 1. It's a nice little stat for you.
Andrew, I really appreciate this compliment. It means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got a couple people in your corner tonight.
Yeah, a couple. Well, I'll take a couple. Even if it was just one, I'll still take it. I'll still take it regardless, as faceoff is in the Devil's zone to the right of Vitek Vanacek. So here we go, as the ref is taking his good old time, and he does the fake drop. I don't get why refs do that.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
They try to make it so much about them.
Yeah.
Like, it's annoying as they kicked out both guys. So oh my goodness, just drop the puck.
No.
Thank you.
It's the fake, like, oh.
Yeah, like, it's annoying. It's ridiculous. It's now Timo Meier with the puck. He comes up with speed, gets the puck off the boards. Devils trying to get to it first. No, they did call icing. All right, so icing gets the Devils here. So face off back in the New Jersey zone here. I will say, though, despite the Rangers, again, leading in shots, as I've said before, and you and I both kind of agree with this, shots on goal doesn't mean a whole lot. It's about when you get those opportunities, do you take advantage of them?
Yep.
Not saying the Rangers are playing poorly. It's just they definitely have had some point-blank chances, but Vitek has certainly been strong as we get another icing against the Devils. So clearly the Devils are trying a long breakout pass right now, and it's not working.
I got a sneaky feeling this is going to be a low-scoring game tonight. It just feels like that already.
Yeah. I mean, look, and granted, I went with 5-2, so I'm thinking 7 goals. But
yeah, exactly.
It wouldn't surprise me if this was like a 2-1, 3-2 type of game.
Yep.
It just, again, the Rangers knew going into game number 2, the Devils would have a response. And I think, honestly, the Devils, I mean, you look at it, we're almost halfway through the first, and there's still no score. So that's already an improvement from game one.
Yep.
But the Devils, they have never really been a team that has gotten off to a good start. They usually start slow, and then as we've talked about before, in the second and third periods, they're one of the best teams in terms of putting the puck in the back of the net.
Yep.
So, would I be surprised if they got themselves a couple of goals in this first? I would, but I'd be pleasantly surprised. Andrew's going with a 5-3 prediction.
Okay.
So we actually have 7 people, and granted, one of those was myself, but I wanted to put it in there anyway. But we do have a couple people, and again, you have until the beginning of the second period to make your prediction. So make sure you guys get it in here if you haven't already. And don't forget to leave a like on the stream as well. And the only way you can interact with the chat, by the way, is to subscribe. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel while you are here. We appreciate you all. We're going to be doing live watch-alongs throughout the playoffs. This is only day 4. We have so much hockey left to go.
Doesn't feel like it. Another stream going on too. If you guys want to check out the Leafs and the Lightning stream going on as well, we got our good guys, Lance from the Brew Jackets podcast and Matt from the Centennials. I always butcher it.
Centennial, yeah.
Yes, I always butcher it. Thank you. But yes, those guys are over covering the Leafs and Lightning game. Dylan will not be joining us for the comments section tonight. He did come down with a bug this morning, so unfortunately he is resting, and we hope nothing best. Oh, we hope nothing best. We hope nothing but the best for Dylan. Yeah. Don't get sick.
Oh, man. You're not doing well, and you just add insult to injury.
You know what? He was making fun of me yesterday, and I just, you know what? He deserves it.
Fair enough. So, yeah, again, another face-off in the Devil's zone here. That's one thing the Rangers have done really well so far. They've gotten a lot of face-off opportunities in the offensive zone. Mikkola gets rocked, Mikkola rocks Bastion, and wait a second here. I think we have a penalty. Vincent Trocheck loses he's holding someone else's stick. He's holding 2 sticks. Gerard Gallant looks upset as always. I can't tell, if it's because there's a penalty. I don't know. We have the game on mute for copyright reasons and all that stuff. So Mikkola's going to somewhere. I think they might actually call the penalty on the Rangers. Let's see it again. As Mikkola kind of got his stick up in the chest of Nate Bastian, and I think that's what they called. I don't see a hand. Yeah, it is. So Mikkola's in the box. So Devils with their first power play of the night. Remember, 0-4 they were in game 1 with no shots on goal. So let's see what they can do as the Rangers win the draw and clear it immediately. So not the start you want. Yep. But let's see what the Devils can do here, Kyle, on their first power play. Are they going to be better than they were in game 1? Which, granted, the expectations are pretty low.
Yeah, well, I mean, they don't have to be better. I thought we've been watching throughout game 1. They weren't necessarily bad. They had don't get me wrong, they had their chances. It's just, I personally thought Shesterkin had way too many good looks. So you got to stick a body in front of the net, just have somebody piss them off and see even if it's a garbage goal, just like you said, you kind of mentioned it too in game 1, throw what you can at the net.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. And face off right outside the Rangers zone. I think they might have called it offsides or something like that. Not entirely sure. As the refs are doing their classic fake the drop, and finally they drop it. Also, we have Wes McCauley tonight, so you already know this game's going to be good. Woo. Apparently, according to Rangers people that I've talked to, Wes is supposedly is very much anti-Ranger, and I'm like, okay. All right. I don't. Then again, go ask Leaf fans how they feel about Wes McCauley, and I think Kyle, you brought up a stat before we jumped on. What are the Leafs 0-7 in the playoffs when Wes is calling a game?
Since the 2019 playoffs, the Leafs are 0-7 with Wes McCauley as their referee.
So we'll see. We'll see how much of a factor that is in this game. I mean, I don't know what the Devils' record is at all. Minute 12 to go in their Devils power play. Devils, as usual, looking very discombobulated on this power play. The funny thing is, Kyle, is that it's usually the second unit of guys like Dawson Mercer, Eric Halla, Tomas Tatar, and Palat that end up being the better of the 2 units. Right. And I'm surprised Lindy doesn't just try to go with them to start, because I feel like they create more of the success, but they're on right now.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens here. We got 1 minute to go on the Devil power play. Haven't even gotten close to getting a shot on net as Mercer with the puck dumps it into the right corner to Palat. Now gets it to Tatar. Palat just out of his reach, but Severson's able to get there in time. He'll look to try to set it up. Gets it to Palat. And now the Devils will actually set up. Palat with the puck. Gets it. Severson with a drive. And that one is stopped and covered by Shesterkin. So there we go, Kyle.
Yep.
Mission accomplished. Devils have gotten a shot on goal on a power play.
Yep. No, it was a good shot, too, from what you hear. Or, sorry, from what I hear.
Look, it was a fine shot. Again, Devils did have two guys in front of the net. Holla and Mercer looking for a deflection. Just couldn't get – I think they might have gotten a piece of it. We'll see it again on the replay.
Yep.
Yeah, no, Mercer just missed getting that as it went right into Shesterkin's breadbasket.
Real quick, they were going back on the Mikkola penalty. They were just showing it there. I get it. I understand why you got the penalty. It's a fair penalty. But at the same time, he was also like – it was right around where the puck was, too. So I'm like – yes, he didn't have possession.
It was 50-50, if I'm being honest.
No, I like the call, but I just thought it was kind of like it could have gone either way.
Absolutely. So now Devils with the puck right now, looking to set up 28 seconds to go on the power play. Tatar, top of the point to Severson. Severson walks the line, gets the Holla, feeds it over to the right side, and that one hits off the skate of Fox, and Shesterkin's able to cover it. But, Kyle, the second power play unit again for the Devils, keeping the puck in the zone. Good puck movement. They've gotten a shot on goal. They've created at least one or two really good chances. But again, obviously they're not getting the puck in the back of the net. But again, I would like to hope that the Devils just try to switch up the lines on the power play unit because the top line is not doing it. It just seems like everybody's really passive. Like, not aggressive. I don't know why. It's been like this all year long.
Yep.
And for the Devils to finish in the top 15 in power play percentage was a shocking development to me. It can only be described as the rest of the league was awful.
Right.
It's now the Devils with the puck right now. Tatar gets to the Severson, fakes the slap shot. Now to Palat. Palat holds it, still holding it, fires it on net. That would have stopped. Rebound try, and they score! It's Eric Holla on a rebound, and the Devils strike on the power play and have their first lead of the series. It's 1-0 Devils.
Should tell people to turn on their volume there. Jesus Christ, you scared the
when you do live watch logs with me, please turn down your volume to like 1. As we'll see it again on the replay, gets it top of the point. As Palat gets it, holds, takes a shot. It goes through the legs of Shesterkin and Eric Holla. Right place, right time. The man they called Hollywood gets himself the power play goal, and the Devils with their first lead of the series. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a massive goal. Eric Holla, 13th career playoff goal, his first of this postseason, and it's 1-0 New Jersey.
Now you got that momentum back, right? Now you got to build on it. So, it's going to take more than one to win this thing because there's going to be a response coming from New York. Absolutely.
So, Kyle, I got to ask you, though, man, how do you rate my goal call there?
I loved it. Because I forget because, it's like whenever they score, whoever scores either end, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I know. Yeah, right. He's got to rip him off here. Now the Devils.
If I keep doing this with you, I'm gonna be deaf by the end of the playoffs.
Yeah, you might. You definitely might have some hearing problems by the end of it.
That's okay, though.
I will say though, I'm not liable for damages. Just gonna point that out. As Jack Hughes with the puck here drops it over to John Marino, throws it in front. That one's deflected and it goes into the corner. So all of a sudden, Kyle, the Devils are just flying. They got the energy. The crowd, there's a lot of people standing right now. It is really, really getting crazy at the Rock. But that is exactly what the Devils needed. And it was the second unit of the power play is now. Here comes Timo Meier. He gets the puck knocked off him. Nico Hischier fighting along, gets it back to Meier. Meier fighting away with it with a Ranger player. Meier now throws it in at the net. Shesterkin saves it. Rangers trying to get out of the zone. They're able to just get it out. Ryan Graves will go back for the Devils. As now the Rangers take it away. Capo Caco walks into the zone, has it, still with the puck, weaves his way through. He'll dump it around the boards. But, the Devils have, it's fair to say right now, they've kind of sprung into life with that goal. And oh, my, what a big-time hit on Dawson Mercer. As we get a whistle here, I'm not sure what they're going to call. Might have called an offside. I don't know. That was a strange If this is a penalty, I will be surprised.
Yeah, just seeing the goal now, though. I was just going to say, just seeing that goal now here, like you got McLeod in front of the net. You got a great screen on him. The Rangers aren't really doing anything to kind of get rid of him out of the crease. You got three guys. You got three Devils in front of the net on that goal. Three Devils
Exactly.
in front. You know, if you're the Rangers D-man, you can't let them get settled in like that. You got to get him out of his kitchen, right?
Right, and exactly. And anybody who's watching the game right now with us, and you guys are great, by the way, you can see it, the difference between the Devils' first power play unit and the second. First power play unit, everybody's standing in different corners. They're waiting for somebody to get that puck and just shoot it from a sharp angle or whatever. The second power play unit, you got two, like Kyle mentioned, three guys in front of the net. Eric Hollis standing on that left side, tap in. That was it. If he's not there, that goal's not going in because that puck was squeaking past Shesterkin, but it was not going in. It would have stopped if Eric Hollis hadn't knocked it in. As Andrew's pretty pumped up. Gaza, he's being fair. He's saying, still plenty of time to get the equalizer. So
only 1-0. Again, though, if I'm the Devils and I see that and I go back in the dressing room at the first intermission and they review and they just look back at that and say, wait a minute, we got 1, 2, almost 3 guys who are basically in front of Shesterkin there. And, and you see Lindgren, and I don't know if it was Fox, the other guy, but they're not doing anything. No pushing, no trying to get him out of the way. If I see that for the rest of the game, and if I'm the Devils there, I'm making sure there's at least a guy standing like in front of Shesterkin the entire time. I don't care if they're 5-on-5 or on the power play. You got to have a guy in front of them the whole time because it's working.
And you talked about it before, Kyle, and we've said it several times. The Devils right now, the only way they're not gonna get pretty highlight reel goals against Shesterkin. It's got to be grimy. It's got to be dirty, and that's what it was right there. It was squeaking past Shesterkin. Holla just bangs it in on his backhand. Boom, 1-0. What's going on, Sean? Good to see you as always, my friend. And yes, the Devils are indeed winning. Power play goal from Eric Holla. First of these playoffs, 13th of his career, and it's a big one. Yep. And remember, Eric Holla has some of the most experience on this team, not in terms of games, but in terms of just, going far in the playoffs. He was part of the Golden Knights team in 17-18 that went to the Cup final. And the Devils also have Palat. So you can kind of see how there's not as much nerves from this Devils team tonight. It's more like this is just another game that they're playing against the Rangers.
I was just going to mention him too, Andre Palat. Massive guy you have on that second unit, and he's right there back in playoff form.
Absolutely. It's Patrick Kane with a shot that was deflected, I believe, might have been Zibanejad who got a good shot on, but it just squeaked wide. But I will say, the guy who's caught my attention the most from the Rangers is number 88, Patrick Kane. He's had 2, maybe 3 really good shots, and I think Gallant probably told him after game 1, look, there's no time for you to be passive looking for everyone else. You gotta start getting shots on net. It's Panarin with a shot that stopped by Vitek Vanacek. But, look, there's a reason that Patrick Kane is called Showtime. And he needs to step up. I'm not saying he didn't play a bad game in game 1. He just wasn't as involved as a lot of other guys were. But that's okay. They still won 5-1.
Well, absolutely. And I mean, again, I think I can't remember who mentioned it. I think it was one of the Eds in the last game that we had. But he's just that role player type guy where you're going to see on the power play, and they're going to stick him somewhere. He might not be a guy that's going to contribute a lot 5-on-5, especially depending on if the Rangers go a little bit deeper in the playoffs. And he's a guy that you're just going to see a lot on the power play, and they're going to, that's one of the reasons why they got up, maybe a haul to get him. But yeah, I totally agree. He was very quiet in game 1. But I do expect a little bit more from him.
Absolutely. Now Jack Hughes might be a 2-on-1. He comes in the zone with a shot, and that one is fought off by Shesterkin. Great point-blank shot by Jack Hughes, but Shesterkin with the right arm pad save there as he tried to go far side on a sort of 2-on-1. As now the Rangers get the puck out of the zone here. Tyler Mott trying to get there first, but he's fought off by Dawson Mercer. And you can kind of see right now, Kyle, the Rangers playing a little bit on their heels. The Devils are using their speed. This is the biggest factor for this team. This is what makes the Devils so dangerous. When their speed is on and rolling, they are tough to keep up with. And right now, the Rangers having some difficulties defensively.
Yeah, no, they're a fast team. Again, I don't watch these guys enough to figure out who's faster or not, but just from guessing, I would assume that the Devils are a little bit more faster, a little bit more fresher legs coming over, and they got to utilize it, right? Utilize whatever strength you have to your advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. So 3:20 and ticking to go in the first period is now pass in front there. That shot pops up in the air from Lafreniere, but it goes high of the net. Oh, Lafreniere with maybe potentially one of the best chances of this period for the Rangers, but he couldn't get enough of it on net. But again, that kid line of Lafreniere, Capo, Kakko, and Hedel making a lot of things happen as the top six of the Rangers off to a slow start. But again, early in this game, 2:58 now. So we get a stoppage of play with the puck bouncing out of the air. Did want to mention a fun, well, not fun, but kind of crazy thing. I just got word in a basketball game, and if you don't know who I'm talking about, it's fine. But apparently Joel Embiid of the Sixers just kicked the guy in the face. Which you can't do. You can't do in any sport, really. In hockey, guys get kicked all the time, so it just happens. But in basketball, it's always like kind of strange when it happens. But
right,
yeah, apparently that just happened.
I'm gonna take a little look at that and see what I can find.
I think you just type in Joel Embiid on Twitter and it probably pops up.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Did he kick him in the? Where did he kick him? I didn't see it. Where did he kick him?
Down, and I don't know who was over top of him, but just a good little boom right to the nuts.
Oh, it probably was Nick Claxton, the center for the Nets.
Yes, it looks like it is.
Yeah,
like, and be down, the guys over top of him, and just I'm
obviously hockey first, but I've been a Nets fan my whole life, even when they were in New Jersey, and I cannot tell you guys how much I hate the Philadelphia 76ers. So like if I was like watching that game as well right now, not doing this, I'd probably be dropping so many F-bombs it wouldn't even be funny.
Just to answer Michael real quick here, we were going to do the Kraken game later. Unfortunately, Dylan is ill, so because he told me he was going to take care of that later today. So unfortunately, he is ill. He will not be doing that. Watch for myself doing the Stars and the Wild game tomorrow night. So I know it's not the Kraken, so maybe not the answer you're looking for, but I might be doing the Stars and the Wild for game 3 tomorrow night, just to put that out there.
By the way, we got 36 people hanging out with us right now. We're live on Facebook as well as YouTube. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. Again, don't forget to smash the like button and also subscribe while you're here. Angus with a very big fact that making ramen is indeed a science.
I agree.
Because you can make it in so many different ways. I like making ramen from scratch. Like when you just make your own creative thing, it is quite a science to get a good combination, good balance of flavors. As now the Devils come in, Timo Meier with a shot that gets blocked into the right corner. But yeah, ramen is definitely a science. There's no question.
Boom,
this is also, by the way, this is what you get sometimes when you're in the chat. You get that question. Like last stream, Sean, who's definitely in here right now, he clearly asked the very important question of, does Kyle like peanut butter? And if so, what type?
I think it's an important question.
Oh, it's a very important question.
Absolutely. They want to know who we are, what we like, what we dislike, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, one quick fact about you. Go.
One quick fact about me. I have an uncle that played in the NFL. That's the big fact. There you go.
Did you really?
So Phil Villapiano played in the 70s with the Oakland Raiders, the then Oakland Raiders, and also Buffalo Bills. He was part of the Super Bowl 11 championship Raiders team. So yeah, there's a fun fact for all of you. You can look him up. He's literally like NFL Network loves him. They use him for like everything. I also want to mention, by the way, legendary quarterback Eli Manning is in the arena tonight. He apparently is a Devils fan because his daughters play hockey. And so his daughters like the Devils. And because Eli still lives in New Jersey, I think he lives in Hoboken. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's fine. Most of you don't know where Hoboken is.
Yeah, I know Eli Manning. That's okay. That's all we need to know.
I think most people don't know where New Jersey is in this chat right now, if I'm being honest.
Because Bruins and Leafs are out in first round. What'd you think?
I don't know about that.
What do you think of the Bruins losing that game to Florida?
How about the ending? How about it took 30 minutes to get through the last 30 seconds? It was fun. And the hot mic, Matthew Tkachuk and Tomas Nosek on a hot mic. That was great.
That was amazing.
Jesper Bratt with a shot that goes wide.
They were just mentioning real quick that Bergeron, and I didn't know this, but he played the 82nd game of the season against Montreal, and he got hurt. That's why he's been out for games 1 and 2.
So Jack Hughes coming into the zone by himself here, waiting for reinforcements, tries to throw it in front, but couldn't get it to Sharon Govich, gets it back, throws it again to the other side. Again, it gets blocked. And again, Kyle, Rangers, good job of blocking a lot of shots here. Yep. So we got 48 seconds and ticking to go in the opening frame. Do people say frame? No, let's say it.
Yeah, they do. It seems like it's
just... Oh, my, we got a penalty here, and we got pushing and shoving. It's Bastian and Fox, and Wes McCauley is having none of this.
Of course he's not.
God, I love Wes. I just love Wes McCauley. He can make 1,000 bad calls, and I'll still love him. Like, I just don't care.
I want more of his hot mics when he makes the calls.
I have been to the home of the Toxic Avenger, New Jersey. That's great. Great, Angus. I'm glad you did this. Lindgren is heated. They called the penalty. I just don't know against whom. I think Bastian's going to the box for New Jersey. We'll see it again. Oh, okay. I see what happened. Yeah, Bastian came in. Lindgren's kind of bending forward with his head near the boards. And Bastian, with kind of a stupid, I'll just call it like it is, very stupid penalty, takes it. Fox then obviously defending him. So I think it's just a Devils penalty, I want to say.
Yeah, that's two unnecessary penalties, though, early on with Smith and Bastian now.
Yeah, the Devils definitely, the discipline. I don't want to say that's nerves. I think they're playing a little pissed off from obviously getting blown out in game one. But Devils win the face-off. Yeah, absolutely. So Devils win the face-off here. Rangers setting up. 30 seconds to go in the period. Rangers looking to maybe tie it before the period expires. Fox gets it top of the point, walks the line, throws it in front, and that one is stopped and covered by Vitek Vanacek. And Kyle, one thing the Devils didn't do in game one that you're seeing so far in the penalty kill in game two, they're crashing in front of Vitek. They're not giving the Rangers a lot of space in front for those deflections.
Yeah. Chris
Kreider is standing there. He's looking to deflect it. That's what he did twice in game one, but you got at least two guys standing in front with him. So that's definitely a good improvement is now Fox has the puck, waits, gets it over to Kreider. Now drive by Zibanejad, and that one's fought off by Vanacek. That was a nasty slapper from Mika Zibanejad. Rangers still with it, gets to Zibanejad, holds, one-time shot by Kane, and that one is stopped by Vanacek. Nico falls down on the puck. Both teams scrambling at it. 5 seconds to go in the period. Panera with the puck. Gets to the bench. That one's deflected. Scramble in front of the crease. But the horn sounds. And then we got a melee in front of the net.
Wow.
Well, that just took about 10 years off my life. What a scene. We have to go back. Vitek Vanacek. Highway robbery on Patrick Kane. Beautiful one-time shot by Kaner. But Vanacek fights it off. Zibanejad dropping about 30 F-bombs, which I'm surprised. I feel like he's a nice person. I don't know. I don't feel like he's the type of guy that drops F-bombs left and right.
Yeah. You think Vanacek's in it, though, tonight? Oh, my.
I think Vanacek, so far through 20, Vanacek is locked in.
Also,
he's locked in. By the way, I just want to say, shout out to Flash Score. They're big soccer people. So you can see here, it says second leg. This is not Champions League. If you get the reference, you get the reference. This is not Champions League. But, yeah, after 20 minutes of play, it's the Devils, thanks to a power play goal from Eric Holla, have the 1-0 lead. By the way, I saw, Kyle, you brought it up. Liam Wolf is in the chat. Liam's a good friend of mine. Liam, good to see you, man. Hope you are doing well, and we thank you all for hanging out with us. But, Kyle, before we go to our first intermission, really quick thoughts of that first 20 minutes.
Well, first, the last 5 seconds. Let's take a deep breath here.
Hold on a second.
Much improved. Much improved first period. Love seeing the bodies in front of the net from the Devils, especially on the power play. Something that you're probably going to see more of too, especially 5-on-5. And kind of like you mentioned there at the end there, with Kreider trying to be the guy to tip it in front of the net. And, the Devils are just making sure that they keep Vanacek's lanes, clear for him to visualize it more too. So, they got the job done. I think it was important that even if they didn't get the 1-0 lead, they got to this period still in this. And I think the most important thing, especially for the Devils going towards the end of the game, is don't take yourself out of it. So that means maybe taking less stupid penalties as we go forward, but make sure you keep yourself in the game until the bitter end.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for the Devils to not only get the lead, but to score on the power play after how bad they were in game one, I think is massively important. They have the energy. Vitek so far looks like he's on his game. He's made a couple of huge saves to get this one going, and I think it's just really important that they get it going. Eric Gilliam, by the way, letting us know that Tampa just scored, so it might not be over. I swear to God, if Tampa comes back and wins, I don't even know.
Imagine.
I don't know.
Imagine.
I can imagine a lot of things. Do you think the Kraken will get the series upset? I hope so. Because here's the thing. I want Devils Kraken Cup final. Okay. That would be like the most so entertaining in my opinion. Yeah. Just so entertaining.
I had the Kraken when we did our playoff bracket. I had the Kraken in 5.
Wow, you did well.
Yeah.
Damn. I have the Avs in 5. I'm very sorry. I
get it. I might eat my words by the end of it, but I'm telling you, the losses of Landeskog and Makar are huge.
Right, and absolutely. And
guy on defense, that's basically Victor. Well, I mean, he's not built like Victor Hedman, right? He's your number 1 defenseman for Colorado, and the captain goes to No, wait. Is McKinnon captain? Landeskog's captain, right?
No, Stamkos. Why did I say Stamkos? Because you said Hedman.
Have another glass there, Neil. Have another glass.
40 seconds of the first period just gave me just so much anxiety. So I don't know what's going on.
It's going to be okay.
This is what playoff hockey does to people, okay? It just it puts you in a bind.
But I love not having a I love not having a voice. This is great. I get to sit back and kick my feet up and just be like,
That's how I was the last 5 years. So, I get it. I totally get it. But guys, before we continue on and jump into our first intermission, we're going to step aside for the first time tonight to get a word from our sponsors. So welcome everybody here to the first intermission report of our game between the Devils and Rangers. And Kyle, after 20 minutes of play, it is the home team New Jersey Devils thanks to a power play goal from Eric Holla, who have the 1-0 lead after 20, but not without a lot of excitement, especially in those last 30 seconds. Rangers will have a little bit more than a minute on a power play starting the second period. But if you're the Devils, really good start to the game. You killed off a penalty, and you know what? You scored on the power play. Special teams was a big factor in game one. Well, so far, 1 for 1 in the penalty kill, 1 for 1 in the power play.
Yeah, it's a good start, right? And I think you alluded it too, where your second power play unit was starting to step up a little bit more, right? So now you get whatever, I don't know what the assists were, but it was Eric Hall obviously getting it. Was it Eric Hall? Yeah, it was.
Uricala from, I think it was just Palat. It was Halla from Palat and Severson.
Right. So, yeah, anyway, like it's great. You're getting some secondary scoring, which is huge. Now, if you're the Devils, you need your big guys, right? You need your guys like
Absolutely.
Meyer. You need your guys like Jack Hughes. You need a Nico Hischier to step up a little bit more. And if you're on the Rangers side of things too, I thought they handled it fairly well. You know, I think they were gifted to obviously the 2 power plays there. They have one just to start the second period too. But yeah, if you're the Rangers, you're feeling okay going in. Obviously, you had the 1 power play and it didn't go your way. And again, what we alluded to was the fact that you got to give Shesterkin a chance to see everything, keep the lanes open, making sure that he gets back to his comfort zone, and they got to find some sort of rhythm going into the second period. But overall, I thought both teams had a good first period.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick update in the other game going on right now. Leafs still with the lead, except now it's 2. It's 3-1. Leafs about 8:42 to go in the second period. So Tampa just scored recently. Not sure exactly who it was off the top of my head. I'm sure Kyle's really on top of this stuff, man. He's got it right there while I'm doing it. And by the way, Andrew did update us. It was Halla from Palat and Michael McLeod. That makes sense because McLeod was standing in front. He took like a rebound shot that squeaked through. Yeah, it was McLeod. He got a little deflection.
Nope,
so yes.
Good to know. And the goal scorer for the Tampa Bay Lightning was a defenseman. It was Ian Cole. Ian
Cole, very old Ian Cole. He is not a young kid at all. That is for sure. But hey, you know what? You're going to get him any way you can, and I think that's the way you got to look at it. But a good big
by Braden Point and Steven Stamkos. Do they have this guy on the top line? I think
Ian Cole might be a top tier Norris Trophy defenseman if he keeps playing the way he's playing tonight. No, we're not going to talk about the stuff about Ian Cole that happened in the offseason. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to ignore all that stuff. Couple of comments here, by the way. Devils Kraken series needs a book written about it in a sci-fi manner. Yeah, it would be the Devils social media team said that they called that series the Cryptid Cup. I don't know exactly. I'm not familiar with that.
Right.
But that's what they call it. Also, Connor says he appreciates a word from our sponsor skit that I say every time. So I appreciate that. Let's go on, C. Roy. Good to see you, man. He says, go Bolts. Andrew says, got to keep raising hell and can't back down. Absolutely. That's the mantra. That's the mantra for this year. It's C. Roy. Who is the biggest bandwagon on this stream? Me?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I cover the Devils for a living. That doesn't make me a bandwagon fan. That just makes me a diehard.
Because you're a diehard, right? I wouldn't say bandwagon. No.
Yeah, he says on the stream, is he talking about just us two, or is he talking about people who are in the chat as well?
Maybe both. I don't care.
I don't know. C-Roy, can you be just more specific? I mean, it's like I'm just curious, but
as a guy. I was just going to say quickly, a guy who doesn't have his team in the playoffs, I'm finding it very hard to be one of those guys who's I'm sticking with these guys all the way through. I want them to win. I don't know. I want to see the Kraken go far. I like seeing that kind of story, right? Nobody really counts them, as anything against the Avalanche. That's why I picked them in 5. But yeah, I find it very difficult. I mean, it was probably difficult for you too, watching throughout the playoffs. How many times the Islanders make it to the Eastern Conference Final, the Rangers getting to the Eastern Conference Final, right? It's how can you find a way, especially, maybe you'll have to find a team in the West, but especially in the Eastern Conference for you, because you have so many teams within close proximity, how can you root for another team?
Absolutely. I mean, and see where I clarified, everyone chat and broadcasters. So
got it.
I don't know how to answer that question because I don't know. I guess if I didn't I'm a fan of the Devils, and they're in the playoffs, so I can't really be a bandwagon of the team I'm already a fan of. So if I were to pick another team, it definitely would be the Kraken because the Kraken are awesome.
Right.
They're the cooler expansion team. Vegas, I'm sorry, but I just don't like Vegas having a hockey team in general.
Speaking of Vegas,
Seattle just
I was gonna say,
yeah. Go
speaking
ahead.
of Vegas, the Oakland Athletics moving to Vegas.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
that was, to be honest with you, Kyle, that was coming. You could see it.
100%.
And like, if you don't know, by the way, how bad it is in Oakland, not just with the team, but the stadium, go watch videos on YouTube. I'm not kidding. You will be absolutely stunned by how bad it is there.
Right.
And they are, you're not going to believe this, Kyle, they are the fourth most profitable franchise in baseball.
Fourth.
They are top 5 in baseball.
It was because
Think
of
about it.
Moneyball. That's why. It was because of
Yeah,
Moneyball.
exactly. They have the lowest payroll in baseball.
That's crazy.
They just don't care. They really don't care.
No.
We talk about all the time in sports, oh, the owner doesn't care, blah, blah. No, that's clearly obvious. I think what's going on in Oakland is that they're just trying to ostracize the fans. They're trying to just keep them away so that when they leave, there's no fan revolt. There's no backlash. They just go.
Yeah.
I think that's really what you're seeing.
Well, that's what San Diego did with their football team, right?
Yeah.
They up and left. They said, too bad, so sad. See you later.
Yeah, good job, Spanos. Way to go, buddy. And then you move it to a stadium that's not even yours.
Yes.
Like,
Going back to our
shit.
game real quick. We're going in the second period. Obviously, you guys had a great start. What are you looking for going in the second period?
Just relentless pressure. I think you saw that after the Holla goal. Look at how things have gone. By the way, Eric just want to let us know it's 4-1. So I think the Leafs might be on their way to a win, but who knows? You know,
I'm not surprised. Are any of us surprised? No,
but they already lost the game at home, so they're already in a little bit of
they're
trouble.
down in a hole. It doesn't matter what they did here.
Right.
Anyway, continue.
But looking at the Devils, it's like, look at how the last couple minutes went after Holla scored. Devils brought the energy, speed, putting some pressure. Not every save that Shesterkin was making was like an easy save. It was like you had to fight it off because the Devils were coming. Right. So if you're the Devils, relentless pressure. First of all, you got to kill off the last of this penalty. But just keep firing it. Throw everything at Shesterkin. Throw everything. If you got a shot, if Dougie Hamilton's in the right corner, top of the blue line, and there's several guys in front, I don't care. Just shoot it. I don't care. If it gets blocked, so what? If it gets deflected up and out of place, so what? You know what? He could throw it on net. It could hit 4 guys and go in. Right. It's just about make Shesterkin's life miserable. And, the one guy, I'll tell you, there's one guy in the Devils locker room that knows this better than anybody. That's Palat. Palat gave the Rangers hell last year in the playoffs. Well, he knows how to beat Shesterkin.
Yeah, it was Corey Perry. It was those little fuckers that just made his life miserable. Right? It's true though, right? Like
it is.
Now you got. So I take this from Steve Dangle. You got to find your team asshole. Who's the team asshole on the Devils? Right? Who's going to be that guy?
Yeah, it's
right,
and they haven't identified themselves yet.
Right.
Yeah. And it's only the second game of the playoffs. So I think as this series goes along, you're going to see that because I think, to me personally, the asshole of the Rangers is Jacob Trouba. That's just my opinion.
Yes.
He's just an asshole in general. On the ice, as the Ed guys put it, he's great off the ice. Great guy, whatever. But on the ice, total jerk. Like, total jerk.
Sometimes.
But yeah, and if you're the Rangers, honestly, you're down, but, no time to panic, obviously. I mean, you just, keep firing it at the net. If this is going to be a VTech type of game for them, it's going to be tough, but just keep playing the way you're playing. There's nothing really I looked at in the first period and said, Rangers really look. I will say, though, the defensive play on the penalty kill when the second unit came on, they looked discombobulated. You mentioned it, Fox and Lindgren all the way to the left side. Why are they bunched up on that side?
Spread out completely. Yeah.
Right.
Just from Liam there, it's weird. It's so weird to not see Ovi and Crosby in the playoffs. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. What was the streak?
I mean, that's the sign. It's the sign that
it's a new era, right?
I'm trying to think. I think it was like 16 years for Crosby or some crap like that. Something like that.
Yeah, and then what you think about the next is they're both those teams are in a bit of a hole the next 2 years or whatever. If you're Washington, Ovechkin's going to stay around until he breaks the record. he's going to break the record. Let's be honest, right? With Crosby, he'll never leave. He's never going to leave, right? So it brings up the question, does Malkin maybe want to go? Does Letang will probably stay, I would imagine. But I think about Malkin, really, and I go, he's got a lot left in the tank. Does he seems like a guy that would go somewhere else and try to go for another run. Maybe a deadline acquisition? I don't know. I don't know what his contract is.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, Malkin doesn't show any signs of like slowing down right now at his age, and he's up there in age, obviously, as well. Letang, little bit of a concern, especially with the scariness that happened earlier this year and all that stuff.
Yeah, that was great.
That's the way it is. Really quick, by the way, guys, before we get ready, because the second period's about to start. Okay. Neil and Kyle, Vancouver Canucks, one word, go. I'll just say poverty.
Poverty?
Yeah, I'll just say that.
One word, hope for Dylan. Because I was mean to him.
For Dylan. Right, yeah. Hope for Dylan. Hope for Dylan. Fair enough. As now both teams are just jumping on the ice here for the second period. And Adam Fox is in the – wait a minute. Adam Fox is in the penalty box.
What?
Did I miss something?
We must have missed something.
I missed something. Wait a sec. Wait. Maybe they called coincidental penalties and then they called the second one on Bastion? I'm missing something.
It was a power play at the end of the period.
They were it wasn't Fox. Fox was on the – did they – oh, wait a minute. Maybe they called the penalty at the end of the period and we didn't see it. It's possible. Remember they had the pushing and shoving at the end there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Chandra, by the way, thank you so much for jumping on. I say, it happened right at the end of the first. Okay.
I don't think we missed anything.
No, I was like, wait a second. Why is he in the box? Like he started the – so I guess if I'm understanding this correctly, and I know hockey very well, it should be 4-on-4 for the next however long, I think.
Well, whatever it was at the end of the period there. Yeah.
So, yeah. Neil, from a Canucks fan, you disappoint me with facts. I mean, just Kyle, why thank you. Yeah, Connor's big Canucks fan. We appreciate that. But here we go. Yeah, both teams skating for a side here as the second period of this game is officially underway. So, it's a shot right off by Jack Hughes. It's followed up by Shesterkin. We are 4-on-4 for the next minute 10. So the ice opens up here a little bit, Kyle, as we get the second period underway.
That was quick.
That was very quick. As Jack Hughes with another shot that gets fought off, and then another shot there by Dougie. Devils putting on some pressure here right away, 4-on-4. I think it's fair to say that 4-on-4 favors the Devils a little bit more because of their speed and everything, but make no mistake about it. The Rangers can obviously create a lot of good opportunities as well, as here comes Jesper Bratt with speed up the left side, drops it off to Nico Hischier, throws it in front, and that one's deflected by Bratt, but it goes behind the net. As a good deflection, good idea from Bratt, but just couldn't get it on net. As now Zibanejad tries to weave his way through. Jesper Bratt almost took it away. Would have had a partial breakaway. 20 seconds to go on the 4-on-4, and the Devils will have an abbreviated power play. Braden Schneider comes in, waits, shoots, and that one just goes wide of the net. Zibanejad over to Kreider. 10 seconds to go on the 4-on-4 here as here come the Devils the other way. Timo Meier off the boards, down into the Rangers zone. No icing as Lindgren gets knocked down. Does appear to be a penalty. 4-on-4 is over. Now the Devils are on an abbreviated power play, but the Rangers with the puck shorthanded. Drops off. That shot by Kreider just goes wide. Here come the Devils the other way with speed. Might have numbers. Timo Meier tried to make a pass. He gets knocked down. Ranger player has the puck here. And so slowly make his way. Barclay Goodrow still with it shorthanded, and he'll just dump it. By the way, it is 5-1 Leafs, so that's another blowout. We're witnessing another blowout. That series is weird.
Yeah.
Wow. As now the Devils have 5 seconds to go on their second power play, so they're not going to score on this one. But I don't know if I would fault them for not scoring on it because it was 30 seconds, and there wasn't much time to do anything.
No, I don't fault them either. I don't.
I feel like that shouldn't count. That's just me.
I was going to say the fourth goal there was from John Tavares from Toronto. They're just still we're still waiting to see who got the fifth one there. But yeah, I mean, I think we had to kind of readjust ourselves a little bit there from the start of the second because now we're like, okay, hold on. Fox is in the box. Boom, Hughes
Right.
gets a quick shot. Okay, let's go. Like, okay.
Right. Fox, right? I mean, oh my goodness, what a hit by Michael McLeod on Mikula. He got him airborne on that one, and that got the crowd on their feet. As you can see, the Devils trying to play the physical game. This was something that people were curious about with the Devils. Could they be physical against a big-bodied team like the Rangers? And Michael McLeod just rocking the body there. It was a big-time hit from number 20, who has an assist tonight. He is very active so far for New Jersey.
Yeah, for sure. Zach Aston Reese, was the 5th goal for Toronto.
Yes. One of the longest names in hockey. Zach Aston Reese.
I just wanted to see who it was. But
exactly. Both teams make a change here. We're just about 3 minutes into the second period. 1-0 still Devils on a power play goal back in the first. Mericala. Nico gets dragged down by Lindgren. No penalty. Refs say play on here. Timo Meier gets it. Top of the point to Severson. He waits. Deeks around a defender. Gets it to Timo with a drive. That one is stopped by Shesterkin. And then Timo tries to go after somebody and just misses a big-time hit. So the puck bounces around here. Trocheck dumps it in for New York.
Couple of big hits early on here.
Oh yeah, I'm loving. This is playoff hockey. Is now a feed in front with a shot, and that one just goes wide by Trouba. Good shot there. Trouba with a drive for the point gets blocked into the right corner. Nico Hischier gets it, and he'll backhand it over to Dawson Mercer, but it's taken away by Fox. We'll dump it back in as Kyle. Both teams back and forth. Some chances, some hits. This is exactly what you expect from these two rivals.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's good, too. You want to see that back and forth. I think we kind of said it earlier, too, with the low-scoring affair. Like, it's going to be that 2-1, 3-2 type of game. But, again, both teams are still playing very well. And they get really good chances, and it's...
What is going on? Why does Vasilevsky have a bad game? Is now Patrick Kane with a shot, and he rang it off the post. Oh, my goodness, Patrick Kane all alone in the slot. And number 88, again, almost with a goal there, but the post denies him this time. But Kyle, again, Patrick Kane has come to play tonight.
Yep. He's starting making a name for himself tonight rather than game one. I mean, he's finally here. Like, took him long enough.
Well, it was only one game, but still, it's definitely playing better. As a drive by Schneider was stopped, and oh my goodness, missed the shot there. Rangers with a lot of shots. That one is blocked. Devils looking to try to come the other way. And now an opportunity. Here they come into the offensive zone. Jack Hughes waits, takes a shot, and a great glove save by Shesterkin. He fought that off. And now Tyler Mott comes the other way, but he gets hammered by Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes laying the body, and then Ryan Graves gets boarded. Doesn't look like there's a penalty, I don't think. Nope, the refs say play on. Miles Wood hitting Ryan Lindgren. There's so much going on right now.
There's too much.
There's just too much. Oh my goodness! Yeah. Big time saves, big time hits. I mean, this is awesome. This is exactly what you wanted from these two teams.
Absolutely. And both goaltenders are playing very well. And it's what you want to see. It's what we expected. It's what we wanted from the start.
Shot by Tarasenko, and he scores. Vladimir Tarasenko through a screen beats Vitek Vanacek. And just a little under 6 minutes into the second, the Rangers tie it at 1.
Crap.
That's how I felt. But I think actually, wait a minute. They're showing Vincent Trocheck. I think Trocheck might have gotten a piece. We'll see it again on the replay.
Okay.
It's tough to I think it is Trocheck. See it again. Tarasenko, just a nice drop-off from Fox, who will get his 5th. Oh, that was a nice deflection by Vincent Trocheck. Yeah. But Adam Fox, he's going to get, Kyle, his 5th point in 5 periods, in less than 5 periods.
Another guy who's been kind of sneaky quiet for this team, right? Former Calgary Flame Adam Fox.
That's true.
I'm so angry. But yeah, I mean, no, good for him though. I'm super happy that he's kind of really come out of his shell, and he's a guy that you can clearly rely on now, right? So, but again, you got it's Tarasenko, it's Trocheck too, who we talked about a little bit in the last game, who was winning these faceoffs, and that was huge for the Rangers too, right? Remember how you mentioned in game 1 with Mika Zibanejad, who wasn't winning a faceoff draw?
Started the game 0 of 10.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Started that game poorly. I mean, he's been just as bad tonight. I mean, the Rangers in general have been bad on the faceoff dots so far. It's been a nice offsides here against the Devils. But yeah, Vincent Trocheck, Kyle, if you can believe this, that's only the 9th power play goal of his career.
This is 9? Really?
You would think, because he's been in the league for a long time, you would think he would have more than 9, but
especially with Carolina. Sorry, I was going to say, especially with Carolina, like he was number 1 center, was he not?
He was their number 1 center that year.
Right.
Yeah. But Vincent Trocheck ties it up. So we're just over 7 minutes into the second. Rangers just tied it up thanks to a tip-in goal from Vincent Trocheck. So all that craziness eventually led to a goal, and now we have a tie hockey game. And obviously, if you're the Rangers, you've weathered a couple of storms. You threw a puck on net, nice deflection. If you think about it, the Rangers, most of their goals so far in this series have been via the deflection, which I think is definitely by design. This is how the Rangers are going to get it past Vitek Vanacek. And if you're the Devils, you just got to take a breath. You obviously commercial break right now, but you got to take a breath and say, look, all right, we could have easily scored a second goal just moments prior to that. It could have been 2-0.
It could have.
So,
yeah.
Don't worry about it. We got the rest of the game to go. Let's go get the next one.
Yeah, and I mean, again, too, like there was such a good screen in front of the net, though. Like that was tough for Vanacek to see, so I don't blame him. But again, we talk about the fact that there's, it's making their lives difficult. They're clearly both on their game tonight, and both goals were ones that are just plainly tough to get, right? So I don't necessarily blame the goalies. I blame the plays that took place. That's why they were so good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What are the odds this goes to like triple overtime or like
someone? I've had people today even predict that it's going to go to overtime.
I was just thinking about that, and I'm like, oh my god, what if this goes to like 5 overtimes? Mind you, I don't think it will, but then I got to.
I'm not prepared for that. By the way, again, the last time the Devils and Rangers played in the playoffs, it was the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals. Rangers won Game 1, but the Devils won Game 2 at the Garden 3-2. So the Devils, again, they could do that. They could come back. I mean, again, very early on in this period. Philip Hedl, now 1 for 4 on the faceoff dot. Jack Hughes 3 of 5. So Jack Hughes, who's not really a good faceoff guy, actually has had a pretty good game. As Capo Caco throws it in front, nobody home. But now the Rangers seem to have a little bit of life here after that Trocheck goal. And again, Tarasenko and Adam Fox, who's coming off a 4-assist Game 1, has his 5th point already in the playoffs. He is off to a fantastic start for the reigning Vezina Trophy winners. Now the Rangers 2-on-1. Capo Caco with a shot. That one is stopped by Vanacek, and he sticks the puck away, and the Devils come back the other way. Jack Hughes up the right side. Waits, sneaks his way through. He gets knocked down. Devils looking for a penalty. They're not going to get it. Bratt, now over to Ryan Graves. He still has the puck, trying to get around Capo Caco. Now he has it. Backhands it, and it hits the side of the net. And the Rangers are able to get it out, I think. And now they get icings, offside. So offsides here, 13:03. But yeah, Devils caught defensive breakdown, led to a 2-on-1. Capo Caco with a good shot, but he actually tried to go 5-hole, but good job by Vitek to keep his stick on the ice there. Yeah. And then he was able to stick the puck away to avoid a rebound. They were just showing there just the replay of the goal again. Vanacek had no idea where it was. He's over here, and the puck's this way. Yeah, and if you look at the shot itself, if it's not deflected, I think Vitek, just because he's standing in the right position, probably makes the save. But it was just a good deflection by Trocheck. Nothing much you could really do on that one. No. This has been a really good, entertaining game number 2 so far. Yep. Only 2 goals at the moment is that. Shot from the point just goes wide, but the Rangers are putting on some pressure. So just like when the Devils got the first goal, they started to really find their game. Rangers have found their game here so far in the second, as now Patrick Kane gets it to the top of the point to Trouba. Trouba with a shot. That one is sticked away by Vanacek. And the Devils are able to get it out of the zone. Now it's a foot race, and Timo Meier's going to get there first. He avoids a big-time hit, but nobody's with them at all. So now the Rangers come back the other way with Patrick Kane, who, again, has continued to be in the center of a lot tonight, just hasn't scored, at least not yet. Yep. Trocheck with it. Trocheck tried to get it to Kane, but he was coming off the bench. Now the Devils have an opportunity to come the other way. Drops off to Miles Wood. Wood gets it to Tatar. His shot was I think his stick was lifted there. And then Wood trips up Panarin, and we're going to get a penalty. So
Nice.
The Devils will go to the penalty kill for the third time tonight as Wood is going to the sin bin. And now the Rangers with a golden opportunity to grab their first lead of the night here on the power play.
Devils playing on their heels, man. Rangers are playing on it in the first period after that goal. Now you see the Devils playing a little bit on their heels. So got to kill it. Got to find a way to kill it. But again, kind of what I mentioned in the intermission, don't take yourself out of the game completely, right? Stay in it. You know what? If they score, fine, whatever. Make sure you have some sort of response ready, regardless if they get a goal or not here at the end of this power play. But it's just so important, especially when we're halfway through the second period here. Do not take yourself out of this game. Not now.
Absolutely not. And so, again, good news so far for the Devils. They have killed off both penalties that they faced up until this point. So they are 2 for 2. Miles Wood goes to the box for tripping. Devils win the faceoff, and John Marino clears. So we get to start the Devils' penalty kill. But the Devils are hoping again that this penalty kill can give them some life. Because remember, after they killed off that second penalty, they drew a penalty and scored on a power play. So they're hoping to maybe kill off this one here as Marino gets it again and clears. So already just 20 seconds in, Kyle, and the Devils have cleared it twice.
Good. Special teams are going to be major in this series. They're going to be huge. And it's gone that way mainly for the first 2 games, has it not?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you look at the first game, it was special teams was a big factor. Devils were 0 for 4 in the power play, no shots. Rangers 2 of 3 with 4 shots. And you look at tonight, Devils, their only goal was thanks to the power play, and their penalty kill so far has killed off 2 penalties already and trying to kill off this third one here as Fox throws it in front. Nice deflection by Kreider, but it goes high and wide of the net. Good deflection there as Kreider was all alone. Now Fox gets it top of the point, gets it over to Panarin. Back to Fox. Now to Panarin, fakes the slap shot. Gets to the Fox top of the point, gets over to Kane, fakes the slapper. Kane still with it. Slowly gets it now to Adam Fox. 45 seconds ago on the Ranger power play. Fake slap shot by Zibanejad. Now to Fox. Tried to feed it over to Panarin, but a good stick by John Marino. Rangers keep it in. Zibanejad. Now over to Fox. Now gets it to Kane in the right faceoff dot. Kane walks it up top of the point, waits, fakes this wrister, drops off to Panarin. Panarin holds, takes a shot. That one is blocked to the left corner. 20 seconds to go on the Ranger power play. That shot through, and they score! It's Chris Kreider, his 3rd goal already of the series, and the Rangers have taken the lead on the power play. It is 2-1 Blue Shirts.
Crap.
Yep.
I mean,
look. The Rangers have taken the momentum of this period and have basically dominated. And it's, again, special teams becoming a problem for this Devils team.
Yep.
Their penalty kill, while strong up until this point, leaves Chris Kreider alone again on a deflection. Kreider with his 3rd goal in now less than 5 periods of play.
Yep.
And now the Rangers with their first lead of the night. The question is, how do the Devils respond again? Can they respond this time? They really didn't do that in game 1. The question is, can they do it here in game 2?
For sure. I don't want to alarm you, but I think about 15 people just joined because I don't want to say they're all Rangers fans, but
no, you could say that they're all. It's fine. Chris Kreider, Patrick Kane, and Artemi Panarin with assists on that Kreider goal. Chris Kreider, just phenomenal, man. He's just a phenomenal player. More goals than any Ranger player in the playoffs in Ranger history, which is crazy when you really think about it. He also has more power play goals in Rangers history in the playoffs than anybody. It's phenomenal. But now it's gut check time for the Devils. This is a crucial point in the series. You're down a game already, and you're down 2-1 in this game right now after having a really good first 20 minutes. You've let the Rangers kind of take control. Now what do you do is we get an icing here against the Rangers with 9:10 remaining in the second, 2-1 Rangers.
All of a sudden, Cade's starting to get a bigger role now, and he's starting to get a little bit more recognized too, right? So, it's again, though, we go back to the special teams aspect of it, and it was the 2 penalties earlier on in the first. Okay, not the smartest decision. You're right. You can't, like, the Devils just seem like they're just giving them these opportunities here. You can't. Especially like with the Rangers, I'll use the Leafs again as an example, right? And even maybe Tampa Bay. you can't give these guys opportunities. Edmonton might be the best example, but you cannot give these guys an opportunity on the power play, right? Especially with the Rangers where they have Fox, Kreider, Kane, all these big guys, right? You can't give them these kind of opportunities, and they're going to make you pay.
They certainly will, and they have several times already in this series and in tonight. Timo Meier throws it in front. That one is blocked. Devils' fourth line on right now. Severson throws it. That one's deflected. Scramble in front of the crease, but Shesterkin makes a save. Timo Meier with a sharp angle try. That one is fought off, and we get a whistle. It's going to be a penalty against the Rangers. It's Jacob Trouba going to the sin bin. 2 minutes for interference. So, Kyle, Devils 1 for 1 on the power play already tonight. Now with a chance, with 8:32 to go in the second, chance to tie the game up at 2.
This is your response, right? This is where you got to respond. And again, now, your big guys got to go out there, right? Give them, I don't know if you give them 30, 40 seconds out there. If they can't seem to get anything going, you saw that second power play unit, obviously they generated a goal in that first period. You get them right out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is, again, another big moment in this game. The Rangers have been the better team in this second period. They really have, and they've been able to take advantage of the opportunities when they've been given. Now the Devils, who have scored on the power play, will get another chance here. And remember, the power play goal was scored by the Devils' second unit very late in the penalty. Can the Devils' top unit, which is supposed to be very good with guys like Jack, Nico, Bratt, Dougie, Timo Meier, can they get something going here and tie this game up? This has to be a big time. This has to be a we got to get a goal here moment. That's really what it is.
Yep. But again, not the end of the world, but there's got to be a sense of urgency. You got to find a way to get that momentum back. Clearly, the Rangers have it right now. So it's just about like I mentioned at the very beginning of the game, I'd like to see what the turnover rate is. You got to find a way to have that sort of puck possession because really it's this whole second period. They started off really good, but all of a sudden the Rangers have kind of taken that away from them.
They certainly have. And again, goals from Vincent Trocheck and Chris Kreider are the difference as, Trouba on the penalty. He just rocked Timo Meier. And, if I'm being honest with you, that's kind of a stupid penalty by Trouba.
Yep.
And you're hoping, if you're a Devils fan, you're hoping that you take advantage of the stupid penalty because the Devils, Wood took a bad penalty and the Rangers scored on it. Now let's see what the Devils can do here. As the faceoff to start will be to the right of Shesterkin in the Rangers zone. Devils 1 for 1 on the power play thanks to an Eric Holla goal. And again, Jacob Trouba, 11:28 mark, 2 minutes for interference. And we will see. We'll see what happens here. This is a big moment in this game. Can the Devils regain some of that momentum? They're not going to do it right away as the Rangers win the faceoff, and Lindgren's going to easily dump it down. So Devils' first power play, they went 1 of 2. And technically they're 1 of 2 on the power play, but the second one was 30 seconds, so it wasn't much of anything.
Yeah, 1 of 2.
Yeah, we'll give him that, whatever. Now Timo Meier comes up the left side, drops it to Hughes. Jack Hughes loses the puck, and Zibanejad easily clears it. So again, this first power play unit just not generate. They're struggling to just get it in the zone right now, and I don't know why it is. Maybe they're overthinking it. I don't know, but here comes Jack Hughes up the center of the ice, drops it off to Timo Meier, who will wrap it around the boards. Gets it top of the point. Dougie's not able to keep it in. So Devils will have to go back and retreat. As now Nico gets it at center ice, circles around, gets around Tyler Mott, drops it over to Jack Hughes, but he couldn't control it. Rangers get it again, and they clear again. And so now the Devils' second power play unit coming on, Kyle. And again, that unit was the one that scored. Yep. And we'll see if they can generate something here in the last 50 seconds as Hughes is still on the ice right now. Hughes coming up the left side. He actually gets crunched by 2 Rangers players kind of softly, but Palat tries to keep it in. He is able to just do that. Gets it over to Holla, who will backhand it to the left side to Jack Hughes. Gets the Holla, wraps it around to the top point to Severson. Severson tried to make a pass over. It's taken away by the Rangers, and they clear again. So Devils doing pretty much nothing on this power play. Can't even set it up. Got 20 seconds left on it, so it seems like this is going to be another wasted opportunity if you're New Jersey. Is now Palat comes in left side, dumps it in, Gets over to Mercer, backhands to Severson. Severson now to Mercer. Devils will set up with 5 seconds to go on the power play. Severson gets it over to Palat, throws it front. One-time shot, and Mercer just missed. And now a breakaway chance for Jacob Trouba. He comes in with a shot, and that one is stopped and covered by Vitek Vanacek.
Oh, my Lord.
So things almost went from bad to worse there as Mercer got a pass in front of the slot. He was open. He whiffed on it. Went off the boards. Trouba comes out of the box, gets a partial breakaway. Vitek was able to make the save and cover it to keep the Devils only down by one.
Opportunity, though. Like, you talk about timing. How many times have we seen that, though? Hey? Like, that's great. Yeah, that's crazy. But you just seen, like, I just saw, like, the replay of Trouba's penalty. What are you doing? Well, like,
it's classic Jacob Trouba. It's just like a dumb penalty for no reason.
What is the reason for that? That's almost like what Michael Bunting did last night. I mean, obviously Bunting's was worse, the other night. But what's he doing?
Right?
Like, you can't do that. You can't go up 2-1 and then pull some shit like that. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. And you can kind of see, and it's tough to hear because obviously we don't have the sound out, but you can kind of see from a lot of Devils fans who are down, in the ice level, it's a little bit quiet right now. I think Devils fans are definitely in a state of worry.
Even Trouba, I was going to say Trouba's breakaway. He's shooting at the top of the circle. Like, you can go in to the hash marks, maybe make it weak. I don't why is he shooting it like near the top of the circle? Anyway.
Maybe he felt rushed on the play because he did have a defenseman kind of on him on the end there, but nonetheless, he could have taken it in a couple of more strides and might have gotten a better shot, I think. But right now you could kind of see the Rangers are I don't know if I would say the word bullying the Devils. I feel like that's not really what I'm seeing. It's more like they're just, again, they're settling into their game and the Devils are just struggling to kind of, control anything as Keandre Miller waits, takes a shot, and that one is fought up by Vitek. Kevin Ball now with the puck, backhands it over to Michael McLeod. McLeod comes up, drops off to Sharon Govich, trying to get it back to McLeod, who falls down, and then Sharon Govich throws it in front of the net. Puck comes out in front, and now the Rangers come the other way. Panarin tries to get it over to Tarasenko, but he missed him. And then the Devils dump it all the way back down, and enough for an icing. So a face-off back in the New Jersey zone with 5:38. Michael McLeod with his stick on his knees, kind of hunched over. Definitely out of gas right now. But, again, it doesn't feel like the game is out of reach by any means because it's 2-1. But I think just the way the period has gone, it feels like the Devils lost all momentum and we're back to where we saw them at times in game one, where the Rangers are just being the better team and they're giving the Devils a lot of fits. And I think that I know I said this in the last game, and I know, again, it's only 2-1, but I really do think a timeout might actually be good for this young team right now.
I want to know what Ruff is doing.
I don't know, but Jesper Bratt with a backhand try that is stopped and covered by Shesterkin. Shesterkin likes to play the puck after he makes a save like that, but he held it too long. So 5:22 to go in the second. Still 2-1 Rangers. But anyway, you were saying, Kyle?
I was going to say, if you're Ruff, why aren't you calling a timeout after they score the second goal? There's nothing wrong that a timeout can really do at that point, right? You got to find, you can't just kind of look at your players and go, well, you got to go figure it out for yourself, right? Like, be an active coach. We saw it in the first game. Why is he not calling a timeout after it was, 2-0, 3-0, whatever that first period was?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense. Like, you have to understand as a coach, like, you have to have their back. You have to have some sort of plan and say, okay, we saw what they did in the second period here. Let's change this up a little bit. Let's up the tempo or something, right? Like,
yeah, I mean,
I'm no coach, but
yeah, I think it's a fair point because right now this team is lacking energy. They had it when they scored the first goal. They got the lead, and then a couple minutes after that, they were putting on the pressure. They were really kind of taking it to the Rangers. The Rangers were kind of just like holding on, hoping that they don't concede another goal. It's just right now, it feels like the Devils are at a crossroads.
Absolutely.
It feels like it's either they're going to go right, which is they're going to get back in this game, they're going to settle down, they're going to get the next goal, and they're going to be fine. Or they're going to go left, they're going to concede, and they're going to allow the Rangers to continue to do what they've been doing, especially in the second period. And I just want to say, because I'm getting a lot of text messages from friends and also other fans of the Devils, please stop saying that the Devils are going to get swept when it's the second period of Game 2 and it's only 2-1. Like, I understand it feels like, if you're a Devils fan, the sky is falling. But at the same time, things can change like that. It is not, there's nothing, you know what I mean? Yes, Kyle.
Look at the Leafs. Look at the Leafs fans in Game 1. Oh my God, it's over. All of a sudden, there's a goddamn parade going on in downtown Toronto because they're up 6-1, and all of a sudden they're going to do a gentleman's sweep and win 4-1 in the series.
Right.
So that's what I understand sometimes with fans. It's like it can go back and forth. Tampa could go back in Game 3 and win 7-1. And then what? The world's falling off again, right? So to your point, this game's not even over yet, right? No,
I mean, there's still there's 5 minutes to go in this period, and there's still 20 minutes after this, and it's a 1-goal game. It is not like where we were in Game 1, where the Devils were down by 3 for the longest time, and you're just like, well, doesn't seem to be like that's going to happen tonight.
Yeah.
But the Devils are in a position where as it looks like, I'm not sure who it was. I think it was Timo. Timo drags down Zibanejad, and guess what? It's another penalty. So the Devils, again, the discipline has not been there tonight. They go to the sin bin again. So the Rangers with a massive chance to double the lead here late in the second period. And I know we mentioned it before when the Devils were on their power play a couple of minutes ago, Kyle.
Yeah.
But this is another major point in the game. This could be the game right here.
How much time do you have left, out of curiosity? How much time do you have left on your side? I'm a little behind.
It says 4:41 right now to go in the period. It definitely seems quieter now than when it started in the stands. Exactly. Devils fans in particular are definitely feeling nervous because right now they're already down a game. They're down 2-1 late in the second, and now the Rangers are on a power play that they've scored 3 times on already in this series as the Devils win the faceoff and clear it. So a good start. But again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah, no, sorry, I'm just catching. I'm now seeing that, and that's a terrible. Again, what is this? Penalty number 4 now. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's like the opposite. Like the Rangers were very undisciplined in Game 1. Now the Devils are kind of going the other way as now Fox gets over to Patrick Kane. Kane holds it now, still with it. Kane now drops the top of the point to Fox. Now back to Patrick Kane. He waits, gets over, deflection, then one tips it and goes in. It's Chris Kreider again. His 4th power play goal of the series, 2nd of the night. And with exactly 4 minutes to go, it's 3-1 Rangers. And
hey, Lindy,
I don't know what in the world to do anymore because I'm going to be honest with you, Kyle. I know it's not completely on him, but I do think it's time to pull Vitek. I think right now would be wise because clearly the Devils are stunned. The Rangers have just come out swinging. And again, like I mentioned before, after Game 1, Game 2, the Devils are getting punked again. They're getting punked. Chris Kreider is almost single-handedly beating them. His 4th goal of the postseason, 2nd tonight. He's already making early nods to try to win the Conn Smythe, his playoff MVP, and it's the 2nd game of the playoffs.
I get it, but you can't take away his confidence right now. It's only 3-1, right? Whatever. If it starts becoming more of a blowout, I understand that, but you can't right now. You can't, right? You can't. Nope. Look, if you decide that if this game ends, like they get an empty netter 4-1, it goes 5-1, and you want to go into Game 3 and you want to switch it up, fine. But you got to see this through to the end.
Yeah, you do. So I think if you're the Devils, if you can find a way to get one back, as now Severson gets it over to Jack Hughes, almost got it to plot, but he fell down. And so now the Rangers come the other way. And again, just like in Game 1, it kind of feels like right now everything's going right for the Rangers, and the Devils are just making mistake after mistake after mistake. And
not to take anything away from the Rangers, that was a fantastic tip.
No, I'm not. No.
Look, that was fantastic.
Most of their goals so far in the series have been tip-ins.
Yep.
Like it's just they're getting all this space, and the Devils are not doing anything to stop it.
Yeah.
Devils are still a young team. This is part of the normal learning curve for them. They made great strides this past season. Murray in Calgary. Good to see you, Murray. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I mean, look, it's definitely difficult when it's your most hated rival and you're getting punked in your own building. By the way, Patrick Kane. Just want to mention Patrick Kane, 2 assists tonight. Adam Fox, 2 assists, 6 points, and it's not even the end of the second period of game 2. Just pointing that out.
What a specimen. What a specimen.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. And, look, even if it's 3-1 going into the third, it's not over, but somebody's got to say something in the locker room for the Devils. Somebody's got to yell. Yeah. Somebody's got to ask this team where their pride is at, because right now all I see on the ice is the Devils getting punked.
Look who's stepping up for the Rangers. It's the big guys. It's your big name guys stepping up.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It's the top guys.
Take away that penalty shot from Jack Hughes because anybody could have took it. Who's been there where's Timo Meier?
Great question.
Where's he sure? Oh, sorry. Meier was in the penalty box.
Right. It's not just for Brett. Gets it over to Nico.
I want to bring back up just real quick. Chandra here. Sorry if I butchered it. But Miles Wood hasn't seen the ice since his penalty.
He has been benched, and rightfully so. Now that one in front there. Devils with some good pressure right now. Thanks to their first line. Timo Meier now with the puck. He backhands it around the boards over to Nico Hischier. Nico tried to get it to Bratt, but missed them. And now the Rangers trying to get out of the zone. Right now they can't. Now they finally get it. Trocheck gets it out, and the Rangers are able to softly dump it into the zone with 1:25 and ticking to go in the second period. Jeff, Tarasenko has 1 assist on the first goal for the Rangers tonight. Yeah. It looked like it was his goal, but it was deflected by Trocheck. Tarasenko.
I thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah, Tarasenko, solid start for him in the playoffs as Tatar falls down. Rangers get to the puck. And that one's taken away by the Devils. That one's thrown in front just wide as Shesterkin. Eric Holla now wraps it around to the other side. Chris Kreider is able to get there and block off John Marino. Both teams got a whacking at it. Under a minute to go here in the second. So that puck comes out in front. Ryan Graves now with it. Backhands it into the right corner. There's Miles Wood as he's back on the ice. Wood now with the puck. And he tried to get it to Marino and he missed him. Goes all the way back down to Vitek. And gets it over to Graves. 35 seconds to go in the period. Devils looking for maybe one last push here before the end of this period. Rangers get the puck off the boards and out. Ranger player fighting along with it. I think it's Jimmy Vesey. As now Eric Hall with the puck. 22 seconds to go in the second period. Long feed off the boards but missed. And it just misses Shesterkin. And that will be an icing here against the Devils with 17.1 to go in the second. Do I think the Rangers will sign Tarasenko a long deal? I think they'll try. I think they will.
Well, Kane's a UFA.
Kane's a UFA, so is Tarasenko. I don't think they'll keep either. I don't think they'll keep both. I think they'll choose one or the other.
Well, if they can't sign Kane, he's gonna retire.
Or go back to Chicago for a swan song. I don't know. Especially if they get Connor Bedard, it might make it more interesting. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, you could have. Yeah, no, I could see that for sure because he's either going to stay Rangers, go back to Chicago, or just call it quits.
Yeah. So that'll do it for the second period of play. The Rangers came out flying thanks to goals from Tarasenko and then back-to-back power play goals from Chris Kreider. And the Rangers have a 3-1 lead after 40 minutes of play. They are now 20 minutes away from taking a 2-0 lead, heading back to Madison Square Garden. So, Kyle, your thoughts now after 40 minutes of play?
This has to be your best 20 minutes of the season. There's
you're New Jersey, right?
New Jersey, excuse me. Yeah, I know I should have mentioned that.
Right, yeah.
You can't go back to MSG down 2-0. You can't. You think this crowd's been quiet tonight? You think the Rangers are going to be quiet through games 3 and 4? Those fans? No shot. Right?
Yep.
This has to be your best hockey. No, you got these guys who, again, I'm not sure how the contracts are working out with you guys on your end, but
Mhm.
Some of them might be in contract years. You want to be that guy. You want to get paid like some of these guys up here. Go earn it. You got 20 minutes
Right.
to do it. Go do it. Right. And for the
Yeah.
Rangers, man, it was just back to the usual and kind of what they were doing in game one, right? You were seeing a lot of block shots, a lot of shots that really weren't getting on net to Shesterkin. He was seeing the puck a lot better there in that second period. And yeah, like for the Devils, man, it's plain and simple. You got to have your best 20 minutes coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see again. We mentioned it before. We mentioned in the last game, Devils 26 come from behind wins in the regular season. Again, when you're a come from behind team, it doesn't necessarily work out as much in the playoffs. But in the playoffs, again, anything can happen.
Yep.
So you got 20 minutes to figure it out. If
sure.
not, you're going to the Garden halfway from being eliminated by your most hated rival.
Yep.
So,
and just real quick before we go take a break, I know it's a blowout on the other stream with the Leafs and the Lightning guys. We are an intermission, so if you want to go and check them out, it's Lance from the Brew Jackets and Matt from Centennials. If I didn't butcher that again, two really good guys. They both have really good podcasts on their end. So if you guys want to check them out too, that'd be huge. So, but anyway, yeah, Neil, take it away.
Yeah. So again, we will see what happens going into the third period of play. But before we get to the second intermission report, we're going to step aside for another moment to get another word from our sponsors. So welcome back, everybody, here to the second intermission report of our game 2 of the Eastern Conference first round matchup between the Devils and the Rangers. And after a very impressive 20 minutes by the Rangers, they have a 3-1 lead after 40 minutes of play. Trocheck with the game-tying goal, and then Chris Kreider with his third and already fourth goals of the series got the next two. And so they have what feels like actually at times a commanding 2-goal lead going into the final 20 minutes. And Kyle, I know you kind of mentioned it before we went to break, but I'll ask you again, your overall thoughts of both teams after 40 minutes of play, starting with the Rangers.
Yeah, for the Rangers, it was a great response, right? You were down 1-0. It wasn't necessarily a bad period for both teams. But yeah, it was just such a good response. And, unfortunately, they were just taking advantage of some of those penalties that they were given there in the second period. And I think we kind of alluded to that throughout the second where, don't give these guys those chances on the power play because they're going to make you pay, right? And that's just kind of what we saw. So that's just really on the Rangers side of it. It was just a very, very good response. Overall, I thought they kept up with them pace-wise too. And I thought Shesterkin, again, they were opening it up for him a little bit more, giving him a good chance to view the ice a bit more, so that way he can kind of settle in. As for the Devils, I mean, they were kind of on their heels after that. Even after the Rangers tied it, right? They were very much on their heels. They just seemed very discombobulated, and you see Miles Wood. We saw that in the comments there, where all of a sudden, okay, now he's on the bench, right? So it's that too, and I really do have to look at Lindy Ruff and go, like, okay, why are you punishing guys? Like, if you want to punish guys, punish them after the game. You're halfway through a game in a game that you have to win, ideally, right? So it's not okay. Sure, Miles Wood hasn't been great. Give him the opportunity. You're taking a guy off the ice. You're making these other guys, okay, yes, you have to make Jack Hughes and them obviously play better, but you can't take these guys off the ice just for halfway through the game for not playing well. You got 20 more minutes in a period left. Like, you got to give them that green light and say, don't worry about it. We're going to get back into this. So, I'm just a little disappointed from what I've seen from Lindy Ruff on his side of things. And, I mentioned it before the break, how it being the biggest 20 minutes of the period coming up, your star players have to show up.
Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. If anybody who's watched the Devils throughout the year knows that this is unfortunately what Lindy Ruff does when a guy, whoever it is, makes a mistake, especially as bad as it was, they get benched. And that's kind of the message. And the problem with it right now is that you can't be sending messages like that at this point in the season. It's not like this is not like it's game like 15 of the regular season. Okay, I get it. This is the playoffs. It's the second game of the playoffs. And I think the thing that's really hard to accept right now from the Devils' perspective is how much they're getting punked again. How much they're just getting punched in the mouth by the Rangers. They're getting almost like taught a lesson. And a lot of the things that people were saying about the Devils, about the inexperience, about the mistakes that they will make are coming to fruition. They're coming to life here. It just seems like through 5 periods of the playoffs, everybody's already saying, I could go online right now and everybody's just continuously saying the Rangers are going to sweep the Devils. This series is done. And I get where people are coming from, but again, it's a 2-goal deficit going into the third period. You don't have to get a goal right away, but you need to make the third period the best period you've played all year long. You need to treat the third period like it's game 7 of this series. You need to treat it like that if you want to have a chance to win this game. And you know what? It feels like to me, if the Devils are going to win, they're going to have to get it to overtime. I can't see them scoring 3 goals in the third. I mean, they can. I'm not saying they won't. But I just feel like that they'd have to get it to extra time if they want to win this game tonight. Shesterkin right now is very much on his game. Vitek looked like he was through 20. I would not be opposed to pulling him going into the third. Like, I would not be opposed to Schmid getting the start. Well, getting it. So I'll give you an example. And this was from the last time the Devils were in the playoffs. They were down 1-0 to Tampa, and Keith Kincaid was getting rocked in game 2.
Right.
So they took him out and they put Corey Schneider in, who had been out for a long time with an injury. And he played really well. He stopped all 15 shots he saw in the third. Great. He starts game 3. They win game 3, and he was solid the rest of the way. They lost in 5, but it kind of changed the momentum a little bit into the Devils' favor. I think it would be good for this team to get a jolt of energy with Schmid playing as well as he's done this regular season. Even though he doesn't have any experience in the playoffs, put him in.
Sure.
Change it up. Do something. Because right now, through 40, what you've done is not working.
Right.
It's not working at all.
1 goal a game, right? I see pros and cons to what you're saying. You have to change something. If you're Lindy Ruff in that locker room, maybe that's the spark that you need. What I would probably say against that is he the spark that you need going into the third? Is that the guy you really want to look at and say, we need a spark? There's got to be a guy in that dressing room with some playoff experience, Andre Palat, who should step up and say, guys, we are not done here yet, right? So he's got to be looking at guys like Jack Hughes, the newly acquired Timo Meier, and say, let's get going here.
Right.
Like, let's go. Like,
yeah. Yeah,
You know?
I'm more of, I'm a pretty big like emotional person, so I understand, I look at it more from the emotional side, and I feel like this would be a perfect time for somebody to stand up in that locker room and yell at everybody and say, "Do you guys not have any pride? Do you guys really want to get punked for 2 games against the Rangers at home? You really want to do that? This is really how we want to go out after having the unbelievable season that we did. This is how we're gonna go out. We're gonna go out like." I'm not going to say the word, but we're going to go out like,
Yeah,
beat.
I know.
Um, you know, we're not going out like that. We're going to come out here in the third period. We're going to kick ass and we're going to win this game. We are not out of this. We are far out of this. We have made a couple of mistakes and they've taken advantage of it. Limit the mistakes, bombard Shesterkin and by any means necessary, and we're going to find a way to score. Right. First of all, they still have yet to score more than once on Shesterkin through 5 periods. That's the next goal that they have to achieve. It's almost like the Devils have a checklist of things they've had to achieve. Right. Like when you think about it, first power play of tonight for the Devils, they got a shot on goal and eventually they scored, right? And so that's the thing like that.
I'm sorry. It's like, what the hell is going on there?
My family does not like Joel Embiid. So this is basketball, by the way. So everybody ignore this. If you've been here long enough, you know what it is. But by the way, we have some comments that we skipped that I feel like should be answered. We'll start with, I want to go back to Danelle. Danelle says, let me ask you as a local fan for the Islanders' loss in overtime. Do you think the ref should have called a penalty after Mayfield, got clipped in the face? I think he should have. He was standing right there, and he clearly missed it. And then, add insult to injury, they lost, right after that. So that's unfortunate. So I would say, they kind of blew that one.
I can't really say I totally missed it. I didn't see it. I didn't see the end of it. So
that's fair.
I'm sorry. We got an opinion out of it. So I apologize.
Right. And then Danelle says, also I will say the Devils are getting killed by taking penalties. Exactly. And the Rangers are taking advantage on it as they score on both goals, what the Rangers are good at. Yeah, they've been tremendous when it comes to when it's come to the power play and things like that. Special teams, again, being a difference maker in this game. And if you think about it, you take away those 2 power play goals, special teams, it's still a tie game.
It is.
Nothing has changed.
I totally agree. Yep, totally agree.
And then you got Dave, the dude, with a couple of comments. I'm going to go on a limb and say he is a Rangers fan, but this is what he said. He said, Rangers get out of the first if they get out of the first 10 minutes of the next period, up 3-1, it's over. I would disagree with that.
No.
But,
sorry.
No. I think what it really depends on is how do the Devils look in those first 10 minutes.
Yep.
If they don't have any energy, if there's nothing there, then I can understand that. Sure. But if they're bombarding Shesterkin and they're still down by 2, I don't fully believe that the game is over because 10 minutes is a lot of time.
How many times have we seen it this season where a team is up by 2 with under 10 minutes to go and there's been whatever, they tie the game and okay, maybe they lose at the end of it, but it just things can happen like this. Right? It could look so bad for the first 10 minutes and all of a sudden you get something lucky happens, right? So it's not over until the fat fucking lady sings.
Yeah, exactly. And Dave's talking about Patrick Kane. Give him credit. He hasn't scored a goal, but he's gotten 2 assists. We talked about him several times tonight. He needed to have a better game. Again, this is coming off winning 5-1, but needs to have a better game. And he has. He's stepped up. And he's done really well. And Dave says here, the Devils team is not built for the playoffs. Speed kills in the regular season. The ice just gets smaller in the playoffs. Everything gets turned up 10 times. A lot of that is, I think, very accurate. Devils in many ways are getting, I keep using the word punked because that's what it feels like. And, we'll see. Again, it's all about response for me. I want to see this team respond in a positive way. I don't want them to go down and end up getting blown out. That's not what I want. I want a response. And ultimately, I do want to see them win. So I'm hoping for that. Andres, where's the wine? I've actually already destroyed it. Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, man. Okay, guys, I got my can of water.
There you go.
Going.
And I agree with the Raptors. I don't remember when we were talking about the Raptors, but okay.
If you haven't noticed too, I've been eating goldfish as a little snack, and
I
found a nice little, sometimes kind of nice.
We like that. We like that. Chandra's actually a good friend of mine on Instagram. She's a big fan of my podcast. Thank you so much, Chandra. Chandra, I'm so sorry I didn't recognize till now you were in the chat. Really do apologize. Thoughts on playing Luke Hughes? This is going to be a question.
That's a great question.
It is a really good question because Luke Hughes threw 2 games, and he played 2 games the regular season after playing in Michigan. Looked really good. Goal and assist, GWG, overtime after the comeback win against Washington to end the regular season. Is he ready? I kind of say, you know what? When you're in a situation where you're potentially going to be down 2-0 going on the road, yeah, why not? Desperate times call for desperate measures. Maybe Luke Hughes, we're talking about this, talk about who's the spark. Maybe it is Luke Hughes.
Maybe it is.
Maybe him coming into the lineup is what the Devils need. Maybe Akira Schmid starting a game or starting moving forward is what we need. I don't know. Somebody's got to step up. And I obviously would love it if it's the top guys, but if it's even somebody like Nate Bastian or even Miles Wood or Eric Holla. Eric Holla might be the only guy tonight that I'm not going to sit here and say had a bad game.
No, he had a great game.
Eric Holla's been all over the ice. He scored a goal. Been great. I can't really tell you who else on this team I could say, yeah, they play well. No.
Andre Palat's been great too.
Palat, but I'd like to see him shoot more than he has been. So
he's doing more than Hughes and Meyer.
Dave's actually saying he's a Devils fan and he believes the Devils will collapse. Again, guys, it is 5 periods into the playoffs. Let's see what the third period happens, and then we'll go from there, all right? I feel like in hockey, maybe it's not as much in other sports, I feel like, but especially in hockey, it is so easy to catastrophize after 1, 2, couple of bad games. It's not, the quote, the legendary Yogi Berra, it ain't over till it's over.
Toronto, Montreal, 2020.
There you go. That's a good thing. Hughes will play a ton of minutes in the third. I am worried about the legs for the next game. I think you'll see Jack Hughes get double shifted in this third period. Agreed. Because we need to get going. Chandra says, I love Woody, but I think he needs to sit. I have wanted Miles Wood benched for 2 months. He's not the same player that he once was. He doesn't bring the same energy that we need, and he takes bad penalties. And honestly, because he's going to be a UFA at the end of the season, he's very much playing his way out of this organization.
I was just going to ask.
Probably not. I'm going to answer your question right now. Probably not.
Got it. Okay.
So here we go, guys. As the third period is about to get underway, doesn't appear that any changes have been made in terms of, in net. So we are underway here in this third, and so we'll see how both teams come out. As now Timo Meyer with the puck. He takes a wrist shot, and then hits up the post, rebound try, and that would have stopped by Shesterkin off Nico Hischier. Oh, the Devils just inches away from right away answering. Nico gets hauled down for a second, no penalty, and now the Rangers get it out of the zone, but right away, Kyle,
again.
That was close if you're the Rangers. They nearly off the post, unfortunately, for Timo Meyer.
Second time. And, didn't we just have that in the second period where Hughes almost scored? But that's great. Something was said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. RJ giving us a quick update. Toronto well on their way to evening up the series at a game apiece before it heads to Tampa. They're up 6-2.
Yep.
So there's that. Eric Holla almost with a big hit. That one's taken away by the Devils. They have the puck, but Palat tried to make a pass and it was easily taken away. Don't know what that was, but here come the Rangers. Panarin throws it in front. That one's deflected wide to the left. It's now the Rangers trying to set up here. Tarasenko over to, I believe, I forgot. Oh, that's Lindgren. I blacked out for a second on who was 55. It's now the 10.
Have another glass there, Neil. Have another glass.
Yeah, I think I've had too much already. As Jack Hughes comes in with a shot, that one gets blocked by Schneider. Braden Schneider dumps it back down the other way, and that is going to be an icing here against the Rangers. So the Devils, you kind of have to like a little bit. Actually, that shot by Timo was deflected by Bratt, And if it was an inch below, that puck is in the back of the net. And then Nico had a chance on a rebound, but the puck bounced over his stick. So that first line, 15 seconds in, nearly got a goal, which that would have been the perfect start to this third if you're New Jersey. But that's the type of shots that I'm talking about that need to happen more, Kyle, for the Devils. It's about just getting guys in front, making things more difficult for Igor Shesterkin, because right now things have been relatively easy for him through 40.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's what happened in the first period. How they get that first goal. You had almost 3 Devils in front of Shesterkin jamming at the puck, and you had Lindgren and Fox, I believe it was, who were separated from him, and that's how you're going to get by him. You're not going to get by Shesterkin if he's going to look at you straight on and go, "Yeah, I got you." Like that's what he's done all year, right? I mean, I'm sure he's had bad moments too, where he's human. So anyway,
now a feed in front there from Nico to Marino was broken up. Nico gets it back, backhand try. That one is fought out by Shesterkin. As now Jesper Bratt with the puck. Bratt holds, wrist shot. That one gets deflected away from the net. Devils continuing the good pressure here from this first line. Devils have it now. Here comes Nico. Gets around a defender. Leaves the Bratt. Bratt with a drive. Shot blocked in front. Rebound try is blocked as well. Devils continuing to put pressure. Rangers trying to get out of the zone. They can't. Ryan Graves gets it over to Marino. Marino holds, waits, behind the net. Still with the puck now. Marino now in the right corner. Chips it to Ryan Graves. Graves wraps it around the other way to Nico Hischier. Nico trying to get around Gaudreau. He cannot. Rangers trying to backhand it out. They can't. Graves throws it on front. It gets blocked into the corner. Marino fighting along with Keandre Miller. Miller wraps it around the boards and finally gets it out. But hell of a response there right through the first couple of minutes. If you're New Jersey, just haven't been able to score.
What's key there for the Rangers too is they've been blocking shots. That's what you're going to see.
Yes.
This entire third period, the Devils are clearly pushing. That's what the Rangers are starting to see. So they're getting bodies everywhere they can in front of that puck, and they're going to be blocking shots this whole third period.
Looks like Corey Perry, unsurprisingly, has been kicked out of another game.
As
now Sneaky Zibanejad with a high riser that hits Vitek in the mask. He's okay. Now the Devils look to come the other way now. Palat, he'll dump it into the Rangers zone. Shesterkin now will play it behind the net. Shesterkin taken away by Jack Hughes, throws it in front, but Shesterkin's able to just get back in time. That would have been disaster if you're Shesterkin and the Rangers dump it back into the Devils zone. But, if you're the Devils, you got to like the start so far to the first couple of minutes of the third. You just got to keep going here because it kind of feels like a goal might be coming as McLeod with a shot that gets easily sticked away by Shesterkin. Now Severson keeps it in, gets it over to Mercer with a shot that once deflected wide of the net. McLeod throws it in front just wide of Shesterkin. Marino trying to keep it in for New Jersey. Still has it. Puck comes out in front, but it's taken away by Braden Schneider. He gets it to his teammate. Rangers come into the offensive zone. Panarin now to Tarasenko with a shot, and that one goes wide of the net and rolls all the way back to the Ranger bench, where the Rangers will get it and control it here. As we're already 5 minutes into the third, Kyle, and the result, the scoreboard is the same, but certainly the pressure for the Devils has amped up tremendously.
When it hits that last 10 minutes, this sure as shit ain't over yet.
Oh, no, especially if it's still 3-1. It's Keandre Miller with a shot. That one's deflected by Capo Caco, but he missed. Good opportunity for number 24 of the Rangers. Now Bastion trying to fight off a Ranger player there. Now the Rangers get it back. Capo Caco looks to settle it down, and he will get it back to Jacob Trouba, who will get it behind the net, and he'll wait for his team to make a change here, as he has Keandre Miller on his left side, but is still waiting. Finally gets it over to Tyler Mott, who loses the puck, and Graves controls it for New Jersey. Now gets it over to Dougie Hamilton in their own zone. Dougie Hamilton, super quiet tonight. Definitely not a factor at all. Granted, not many Devils players have, but Dougie, man, he has really been quiet at this point as Bratt feeds it in front to Nico, but missed him, and now Mott takes it out of the zone for New York.
7-2.
John Tavares with a hat trick.
Jeez.
So that game's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Watch it be 7-3.
Yeah, just why not? Let's get a meaningless goal there at the end. As now Jesper Bratt now gets it over to Timo in the corner. Dougie keeps it in for New Jersey, throws it in front. That one just is sticked aside by Shesterkin. Now Bratt, he's getting the puck. He's getting hounded by Patrick Kane. Kane might have a step. 2-on-none. Kane backhand try, and he scores! It's Patrick Kane all alone, top shelf, and the Rangers may have just put the last cherry on top of this one. It is 4-1 Rangers.
2-0. 2-0.
And VTech should have had it.
I don't put that on VTech. You can't put it on VTech.
Well,
I haven't even seen the goal yet.
Have you seen it yet?
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm not blaming VTech for the 2-on-none. That's not what I'm blaming him for. That's not his fault. And Patrick Kane, a goal and 2 assists. Showtime is here, and I wonder now if VTech's going to get pulled and he's not. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm seeing Devils fans leaving. I'm also seeing Rangers fans leaving, which is kind of weird. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay. 13-19 to go in the third. 4-1 Rangers, thanks to a goal from Patrick Kane. And so,
yeah,
Kyle,
I'm going to see the 2-0 in a second here. I just want to see it.
Yeah, fair enough. I think he's a little bit behind me, so give him some time.
No, it's okay. Here. There's a question for you, Neil.
Hey, Neil, ask this question. When the Devils or Islanders fans is at MSG against the Rangers, you don't see a lot of them take over. When the Rangers are on the road, they take over UBS. Let me explain to you why that is the case. Number one, it is much cheaper to go to the Prudential Center or UBS Arena. That's the first thing. Number two, James Dolan overprices everything, no matter what it is, whether it's Rangers games, Knicks games, Billy Joel concerts, anything. Rangers season tickets have been passed down for many decades. You also get a lot of tourists who might be Rangers fans who come to the city. And there's also a lot of Rangers fans that live on Long Island and live in New Jersey, because remember, before the 70s, if you were living in New Jersey or Long Island, you were a Rangers fan. Unless you lived in South Jersey, which made you a Flyers fan. Or if you lived in upstate New York, you were a Sabres fan. But if you were in where I'm from or Long Island UBS area, you were probably a Ranger fan. So I hope that answers the question. I think it did. Rangers fans, look, Devils fans, they're already paying an arm and a leg to go to games at the Rock. They're damn sure not going to pay even more to go to MSG. And it's not because Devils fans, they don't exist or they're not loyal or whatever. It's James Dolan just overprices everything. So,
wow. Well, I'm just sorry. Yeah, no, it was great response. What the hell is Marino doing?
Not the right thing, obviously.
What the hell is he doing?
Now Jack Hughes with a shot, and that one goes right into the breadbasket of Shesterkin, and it'll cover.
What I don't get is, on that 2-0, when you're trying, okay, I understand trying to cover the other guy, you're giving Kane the green light to go in, right? So you take that one lane away, okay, fair. The guy was 5 feet away from the net when you slid into it. So you're giving Kane the green light to be okay, I know already what I'm doing even before, I don't know. I just don't understand what he was doing there. It was a great move, though, by Kane. You haven't given him credit. But
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, what do you do? What do you do, Neil? You tell me. You're the Devils fan. What do you do?
You know what's funny is that I have to go on Instagram live after, yep. And then I got to record. So I'm gonna have to answer this question 3 times. My answer might change every time. I don't know.
Sure.
The old saying goes, the series isn't over until you lose at home. Well, the Devils are on the verge of losing twice at home.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying going to the Garden for games 3 and 4.
Sure.
If there was ever a time for a miracle, it would be right now. Maybe not in this game necessarily, but I don't know. I'll be honest with you, Kyle. I do not know where the Devils go from here because this feels like what I have been watching, not counting this regular season, but what I had been watching for the last several years.
Right.
Not much of a fight, getting beaten down in your own building, being outfanned by Rangers fans. It's not easy to sit here and see all this, especially how the game started.
Right.
You know,
you know what? I'll be your therapist here in this third period. It's not over. There's 13 minutes left.
No, of course not. I mean, they could score 4 goals in 3 minutes,
right.
and just.
My question to you would be, if the Devils did not have home ice advantage, would we see a different result?
Like if they started at the Garden?
Yes, if they started at the Garden.
I think you would. I think you would because I think what you're seeing from the Devils is a team that has never had this type of expectation. Remember, when the season started, nobody picked them to make the playoffs.
No.
And if you did, you had them like fighting for a wild card spot. Like where the Islanders and Panthers finished, that's where you thought the Devils would finish if they made the playoffs.
Right.
Not only did they make the playoffs, they finished as the third best team in the NHL, broke all types of records, had the best regular season statistically in franchise history. And now you're going up against the Rangers, who you beat 3 out of 4 times in the regular season. And right now is Jack Hughes with a shot that gets easily blocked. You are not
to jump in here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to think playoff experience in this series means nothing. It means nothing. You play these guys in your own division. They live 15, whatever, I'm just guessing here, 15 miles away from you. Right? You better you know these guys by now. You've won 3 out of the 4 games. They clearly know each other. So I'm not more or less upset at the fact that it's now like 4-1. I'm upset at the fact that you can't make it a close game for the second time in a row in the third period.
This is where I wouldn't say it's an experience thing. It is it is actually a history thing.
Okay.
It's actually a history thing. And as now, oh my God, the Rangers have an opportunity as Chris Kreier with a shot that gets easily saved by Vanacek. I will continue to broadcast, guys, despite.
I was just going to say, I'm sorry.
Timo Meier with a shot that gets blocked. And again, like, how many times have I said the word blocked tonight when involving the Rangers? I mean, they have through now almost 6 periods have taken their system or game plan, and played it to a T. I mean, they have really done a fantastic job of making life at hell, as now we have a slashing penalty against the Devils. So the Devils, for the 5th time tonight, are going to the box. And the Rangers have a chance to really run the score up right now. But now that we have a commercial break, I'm going to remove the score for a minute. I'm going to bring it back. Don't worry. But I just so everybody can see me. For the last decade, the Devils have made the playoffs once. And through the 5 years from 17-18 to now, there have been a lot of embarrassing moments where the Devils have just gotten blown out of the gym most games. They've blown multiple leads. They've continuously found new ways to embarrass, fans. Look, there was a time last year where I went to Devils games either for free or for $1, and I'm not making that up.
I wish.
I wish I could make that up, but to go from all of that to this, what you are seeing is a Devils team with a bunch of guys that have been here for several years, young guys but have been together for a while, who are kind of looking at it like, well, this is who we are. We're the Devils, ho-hum, like we're not supposed to be that good. The Rangers are much better than us. Like, I'm not saying that's what they're saying, actually. It's just you can tell by their body language. It's like, here we go again. That's where you're seeing a lot of Devils fans who might be in this chat or on social media. You'll see that. They will say, here we go again. We don't look like we have any business being here. We look like everything. But I said this before and I'll say it again. Tampa Bay 3 years ago got swept by Columbus, losing the first 2 games at home, mind you, and then proceeded to win the Stanley Cup the next 2 years. Regardless of how it went, bubble, shortened season, don't matter. They won the cup. And they went to the finals again last year. And they have as good of a chance as anybody to get back again.
You're playing the Leafs, of course you do.
They're playing the Leafs in the first round, and they're the team that I think has the best chance of beating Boston, although Florida, after last night, I don't know anything anymore.
I'm not sold on Florida, but continue.
Yeah, but the Lightning.
Maybe because I'm butthurt because Kachuk, but
right. The Lightning had to go through that embarrassment for a full summer and deal with everybody making fun of them and saying they're always gonna choke, this, that, and the other thing. And they got over that hump. They gained that experience, and they went on to have the success that they've had. Chicago was terrible for years. And then they had that magical run to the conference finals in 2008 and then proceeded to win cups in 3 of the next 5 years. I am not saying that this is the script for the Devils after this season. I'm just saying that sometimes there's now an opportunity for Patrick Kane and he just shoots it wide. I'm just saying that sometimes a team has to go through embarrassment like this to, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, to get over the seize the. Thank you. Thank you, Kyle. Seize the moment. So what you're seeing right now is what I saw for years with the Devils, like just getting outplayed. Is that shot is stopped by Vitek Vanacek. Kreider trying to tuck it in, but Vanacek covers it, and we'll get a whistle. 8:02 to go in the third. I just realized I forgot to bring the score back up. Apologize for that. Chris Kreider, he's on hat trick watch again. 2 power play goals tonight. He's got 4 already in the playoffs. And, Kyle, the biggest thing for the Rangers, if you look at all the goals they've scored 9 goals so far in this series. And granted, one of them was this, and oh my God.
Let's go.
Less than 3 minutes in, Seattle's winning already. Okay, I think Seattle might just clean sweep Colorado.
I am telling you, that was the sexiest pick. I'm telling you.
I think if you look at all the series, if you wanted to go for like upset, that was probably the one to pick.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, even this series, like if the Rangers go on to win this series, right? This is not, in my opinion, you'll see it. Most people will not look at this as, it was an upset. It was okay. It was a battle between the top. Yeah, it would. But I think if it ends up, and again, you got 2 games after this. If it ends up being a sweep, or even if it ends in 5, or whatever the case may be,
right? I
think that'll be more of the surprise. It's like, wow, they went out with a whimper. That shot there by the Rangers is stopped by Vanacek. It'll cover. Trocheck and Eric Haula are now scrapping it up, and Trocheck's kind of laughing off Eric Haula. Haula wanted to drop the gloves. Kevin Ball and somebody on the Rangers, I don't know who that is, are pushing and shoving. But, I think go ahead.
If I'm not here and they win Game 3, can I come back?
The ultimate question. It's a great question. We'll see. We'll see. Dave said, Rangers toying with them at the moment. I'm done for the night. Great stream, fellas. See you Saturday night. No worries, Dave. Thank you for
see you later.
Hanging out with us, man. And we actually have like 40 people hanging out with us right now. So we thank you to everybody who's here. Don't forget to leave a like on the stream while you're here if you haven't already. And do subscribe because we got live watch alongs every day here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. Doing the Stanley Cup playoffs, guys. This is our favorite time. This is Christmas for us.
That's fantastic.
So make sure to subscribe and also hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new live watch-alongs that we do.
For sure. You'll see a lot every day. We're really busy this time of year. It's always a good thing. We're trying to get these things going every day. I believe from what I see tomorrow night, I think there's only the one live stream, and it'll be myself. I'm going to give it a whirl for the first time. So we'll see. It might not, technical difficulties might not be great. I have about an 18-year-old laptop with me, so I'm shocked this is still working. But I will be covering the Stars and the Wild tomorrow night if you guys want to come check that out.
That should be an exciting game. Game 3 in Minnesota. Series tied at a game apiece. We'll see who gets the 2-1 lead. What's going on FPHL Hockey on Facebook? So we have a shout out from somebody watching on Facebook. Thank you so much, man. Don't forget to give us a like on Facebook as well as that shot by Capo Caco when he scores. Capo Caco, he goes top shelf, beating Vitek Vanacek. And the wheels have completely come off in this third. It is now 5-1 Rangers.
Okay, I think I got to go. Okay, bye.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, if you have to go, Kyle.
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry that the 2 live watch-alongs you guys got tonight were blowouts. I can't control that. Goaltending really sucks. I don't know.
We're doing this every day. It's going to get better. It's going to be okay.
I think it'll get better as the playoffs go on. That's why
we're going to provide.
This does happen. This does happen early on in the playoffs for whatever reason. The first couple of games, you just see a lot of scoring, which is not expected. Yep. But Capo Caco, the former number 2 overall pick, by the way, Jack Hughes was the first overall pick in that same draft. He gets himself a goal. The kid line strikes, 6:45 to go. And really, Kyle, I don't know if you can see it, but if you look on the lower bowls, oh my, we have a fight. It's Michael McLeod and Braden Schneider going at it. Schneider with a right hook. Michael McLeod with a right hook. Another one by McLeod. Schneider with a couple. They're both throwing haymakers. As clearly frustration has boiled over if you're the Devils care. Clearly this is crazy. This is wild. This is something.
God.
Battle of the long brown hair as well.
Jeez.
Or black hair. I can't tell who's got it. But 5-minute majors for fighting. McLeod, unfortunately, is not done for the night. He'll have to sit in the box because there's still 6:40 to go. Unless they just give them both 10 and just kick them out. If they could.
I would have loved to be in there for that second intermission. What was that? Yeah.
I want to know.
What was happening?
I don't know. Clearly, whatever was said by Ruff, if he said anything, did nothing.
I also want to give you, not to think too far ahead into the offseason, because we were talking about this earlier.
Sure.
Because I am on Cap Friendly. And I'm looking at, because you're thinking about, like, okay, it's a young team and all that. You got about 3 guys who are signed long-term. If you don't count Curtis Lazar and Dawson Mercer, which you can count if you want, he's in for 2 more years, you have 3 guys that are signed long-term. Everybody else has expired this offseason.
Well, we have a couple. We have like Siegenthaler, who's also signed.
I'm sorry, and let me just reiterate here. It was the
Dougie signed long term. You have Nico. You have Jack. Curtis Lazar, by the way, best contract in the NHL.
Fucking hilarious.
3 years, $1 million per year.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Let me reiterate. Sorry, it was the forwards that I was specifically looking at.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought. Okay, I was like,
wait, if you're looking at for forwards specifically,
correct. Yes,
you're looking at goal scoring. You got about 3 guys. If you want to count Dawson Mercer, sure, who are signed long term. So,
I was going to say, what's the question? I was like, I thought there was a question.
No, there's no question. It's something to think about. That okay?
No, I mean, Kyle, we've been thinking about it all year long. Quite frankly,
hey, I didn't know this.
No, I know. It's not criticism.
I had no idea about
that. Guys, they're taking a long time to assess the penalties, so that's why we're talking. Again, Schneider and McLeod were just fighting just now. Hockey 917, thank you for hanging out with us. Jared Brown, good buddy of mine. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jared likes the Bruins and the Golden Knights, or just the Golden Knights. I forgot which one it was.
I believe was at the Bruins game for game 1.
Right. Okay. Neil, what happening to your Devils? Got punched in the mouth again, if I'm being honest. How are you guys doing today? I live in Spain, but the S is silent. So that's Jonas M says, thoughts on being stuck with Plot 5 years, $6 million per year, no movement clause. I mean, look, again, he was injured most of the year. Everybody's going to make fun of the Devils for the contract because he got hurt at the beginning of the year. But here's the thing. I know the Devils wanted to get Johnny Gaudreau, and he blew us off to go sign with Columbus, which, by the way, how'd that work out?
You haven't heard from him.
You haven't heard a word.
We were going to pay that guy. We were going to pay him $11 million.
By the way, I think Michael McLeod, yeah, he's done. Michael McLeod came out of the penalty box and he's skating to the locker room, so he's done for the night.
Oh, fun.
My guess is that they probably gave him like 5 and 10, and that was that.
Probably.
I don't see Schneider still just casually sitting there. I think. Well, he's talking to the. What do they call the guy who's like in the box with the player? Like, is he like a coordinator? Like, what is his? You know what I'm talking about? The guy with the headset.
That he's just a guy.
You know, it's funny.
I don't know.
Like guys, we had that guy in there for years, right?
Yeah.
None of us.
I know what you mean.
Oh, and Schneider's gone too. Schneider got 5 and 10, and I could read Schneider's lips. He said to the guy in the box that I got 10 for what?
Right.
And I'm like, you got 10 for fighting. Like that's what happened. Like, dude, you're done. Like, dude, you're up 5-1 late in the third. Like, go take a rest. You've earned it.
Yeah.
Lafreniere's sitting in the box for. I guess he's just going to serve the penalty.
He probably will.
I don't know if the Devils are getting a power play from all of this, but I mean, what were we talking about? I feel like what are we talking about?
Okay.
No, we talk about the Devils forward group.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they blew on Gaudreau. We were talking about
we're talking about Gaudreau, but who cares? He's in Columbus and he's like living his best life at $9 million a year or whatever.
It's okay. We're paying a guy. We're about to pay a guy $10.5 million for putting up 50 points, so that's fun. Can't wait for that. Continue.
Look, here's the thing with the Devils. They'll have a lot of questions to answer once the offseason comes, whenever that might be.
Whenever that
might be.
Exactly. I'm not trying to think
are you going to re-sign Jesper Bratt long term? There are times, Kyle, where I'm not sure if he should be here long term. He's very inconsistent.
Okay.
One of the rumors that have constantly been brought up. Oh my! What just happened? Oh my! Okay.
What?
Clearly, things have spiraled out of control. Wes McCauley just told Timo Meier to and I quote effing go in the locker room. Adam Fox got thrown out. So now that everybody, I wonder if they should just kill off the last 6 minutes and just call it a night. This has gotten out of hand. Timo Meier's gone. Fox is gone. McLeod is gone. And Schneider's gone. So both teams have lost 2 guys. So the bench is getting a little bit more open, a little bit more cozy.
Yep. Oh my God.
But we don't even get Wes McCauley to make the call. We get some other schmuck.
Should be less. Should be doing every single one.
Wow. Yeah, but like there was nothing. Wait, let me see what happened here. Is Timo's doing his thing? All right, Timo checks Fox. Then they just keep pushing. I mean, it wasn't much of anything. I guess the refs are just like no tolerance for anything. They're just done. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
Let's go on, Liam. Thank you so much for saying hi. We do appreciate it. Hockey legend, good to see you as well.
I'm so happy we have 40 people still here. This is great.
We still have like 40 people through an absolute blowout.
Last 6 minutes and beyond will be the most entertaining 6 minutes.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us, man. Again, don't forget to leave a like on the stream as well as subscribe. But going back to, by the way, the Devils are on a power play in case somebody cares.
I care.
Throughout all of that.
Neil, I care.
The bench is so empty. It's really funny to look. They're showing it you'll eventually see it. It's so funny. This like everybody's bunched to one side. So like the whole left side is just completely open. It's actually very funny.
That's for everybody in the stands who wants to come try out.
Yeah, if anybody wants to just sit here for the rest of the game,
Neil, go get your skates.
Yeah, right. Just put me in, coach.
Go get your early jersey.
But and the Rangers bench is even worse. It's really, this is funny. It almost looks like 7 or 8 guys from both teams are just like, you know what? I don't really feel like playing anymore, so I'm just gonna get kicked out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's strange, but
yeah.
So now it's 4-on-4.
Okay.
So now no power play for the Devils, but I will say that. Are you going to re-sign Timo Meier? Are you going to re-sign Jesper Bratt? One rumor that people have brought up is, what is the future of Alex DeBrincat in Ottawa? Do they bring him back? Some Devils fans.
I think that report that came out recently, that wasn't. I don't think that was accurate. I could be wrong.
No, I mean, look. At the end of the day, it's just rumors. Like there's the season, the Ottawa Senators haven't even gone a week without playing a game.
Yes.
As Eric Holla now with a backhand try and he misses the net. Goes out of play. And then Eric Holla wants to fight Lindgren. Just seems like every stoppage of play now is just going to be like
like-
someone yelling at somebody.
Got to get it going here, right? Like, we get it. They're pissed off. Let's just get it going here. Thank you, Liam.
Liam says he's subscribed, by the way. Danelle sending me a message. Just let you know the Nets lost. That's lovely.
0-3. I
They were winning for most of the game, but I guess
when you trade off big assets, though, like, what are you going to expect, right?
I mean, I don't know. I hate Kyrie Irving.
What has he done?
It's psycho.
He helped the Mavs miss the playoffs.
He's just a psycho, bro. No, he's just. Murray says, "Love this chat room." Just left a like. Thank you, Murray. Appreciate it as always, buddy. But going back to the DeBrincat situation, I mean, like, again, we'll see what happens when we get later in the offseason. Some people have wondered if the Devils should just do a sign and trade with Jesper Bratt and send him somewhere else because, you wonder, is he a fit here long term?
Yep.
I mean, Tom Fitzgerald, the GM of the Devils, has made it clear several times over that they want Bratt to be a part of this long term.
Yep.
It's frustrating that the negotiations for Nico and Jack Hughes were so easy and Bratt's making it so damn hard. And it probably is just his agent, not really Bratt himself. But
the only good thing about Bratt being a free agent now is he's an RFA.
He's an RFA, right? So they can.
So somebody could offer him something. You'll get maybe some compensation back for him. I don't know what they would offer. I'm sure there's a team out there, maybe if you take Columbus, for example, who is looking for a guy like his stature, right? And they might pay him, I don't know, let's just ballpark $4 million, for example, right? You might get some compensation back for it, right? Instead of losing him for nothing. The worst thing is, like, as much as you want to lose Bratt, what you got to find a way to get something out of it. I'd rather lose a guy. If you look at your UFAs here, like, okay, Eric Holla, right?
Right.
Maybe not the best guy to lose in free agency. So that's a guy you're probably going to look more towards try to bring back. I mean, hence he scored tonight, but he seems like more of a playoff guy and a guy that fits this system more than Jesper Bratt, just from what I've been seeing.
Well, if you look at what Timo did in his
yes.
You're right. Guys, do you think my Golden Knights can win tonight? They certainly can. They're at home, but they got to have a much better response than they did in game one. I mean, losing 5-1 like that at home, which I can understand as a Devils fan after game one of this series, they got to be better. They have to be a lot better. So, yeah, they obviously can win. It's just a matter of how they play as now the Rangers come the other way. Filipino might have a step on Severson. He backhands it, but nobody was there. TC, what's going on? Topless flip. Toronto just won 7-2 against Tampa. Yes, Toronto evens that series up at a game apiece. Are you streaming the game on Saturday? That is the plan. That is the plan, and we will certainly things
you
will.
Be here for that? Like,
I'll definitely be here as that shot by Trocheck just goes wide. But yeah, I will be here for that. Danelle talking about Embiid should have been kicked out after he kicked Claxton. Apparently, James Harden did the same thing as well. So, yeah, the Sixers were on something tonight. What about my Bruins tomorrow? I don't know. You know what? It was the way the Bruins lost that gives me pause. It was like, at home.
The only thing I like about it, though, is, okay, Allmark didn't have the best night. Okay, if he didn't play well, you put Swayman in. Swayman's had a great season. So I don't believe Alex Lyon can carry this all the way to the end of the series.
This feels like Spencer Knight 2 years ago.
Right.
This feels exactly the same thing.
At some point, I'm not, and again, prove me wrong, but I just don't see it lasting the entire series with this guy. I don't, right? But whatever, give Florida tons of credit. I kind of figured that that's how this series was going to go. At least they were going to grab one. I'm not surprised that they're 1-1 right now. I just think Boston's at some point going to take over. They will take over at some point.
Yeah.
So
I remember Bergeron's been out as well, just saying.
Yeah, no, and the fact that he played that last game of the regular season, for what? Oh, you want to play in Montreal? Oh, that's cute.
That reminds me of when the Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers this year, I think it was like week 18, they played their starters for literally no reason, and Mike Williams got hurt and didn't play in the wild card game, and they lost.
Gone.
It was just like, well, that was totally not worth it.
Okay, well, sorry, lost, but it was 27-0.
Well, yeah, they did. Wait, what, against Denver? Yeah, they did. Yeah.
No. Sorry, like they lost the Week 18 game, but then they lost to Jacksonville in the wild card
After winning, after Trevor Lawrence throws like 4 interceptions in the first half.
Yep.
Yeah, congratulations, Los Angeles. You still can't do anything. Anyway, you guys are wondering, why are we not talking about the game? Well, you can clearly see by the score. Because also, here's the thing. The Rangers and Devils are not really trying to do anything. Like, they're just kind of like the Rangers are just holding on to the puck. They're playing keep away, if I'm being honest.
If you look at the scoreboard that we have here, our lovely scoreboard, is there any stat here that surprises you, that jumps out to you?
Let me just take a look, because it looks like the Devils just got another penalty, by the way. I think John Marino I think someone just got another penalty. And there's Lindy Ruff, who honestly, I think at this point, if this is how it's going to be, he will probably not be back as head coach.
He's just as useful as Daryl Sutter right now.
Amen. If I look at this stuff, let me see.
What jumps out to you?
What surprises me, I guess?
Anything.
I don't know. It's tough to tell. I guess. Here it is. Look at the giveaways.
Yep.
Look at that.
What are we talking about?
And then look at the takeaways. This is the most amazing thing. The Devils have given away the puck 15 times, and the Rangers only took it away once. There's now a rebound try there by the Rangers. They just missed getting another. 6 takeaways. Look how many statistics the Devils, it's tough. I mean, another thing that surprises me, I saw it before. Yeah, here. I just don't see this from this team.
Yeah, the penalties.
Now, to be fair, most of them have come within this last 5 minutes of the game. It's just like pushing and shoving. By the way, Seattle's up 2-0. What is going on? Yo, Neil, both benches are empty. Yeah, no, it's really funny. This looks like a beer league game right now. I'm not joking. It's hilarious to look at. It's actually, there's the little comic relief that I'm getting at the end of this game. It's like someone's got to take a picture and be like, when you're playing your late night beer league game at your local rink, this is what it looks like. The coaches are not even coaching. They're just letting, the players. There's so many empty seats. Granted, a lot of people left, which again, I am not a fan of leaving early. It's just, we talked about this in the last game, Kyle.
We did. We literally did. It's the same shit.
I feel like, it's just, we're having fun here, but
yeah.
So the Devils are on their way to going down 2-0, losing both games at home. Now, the good news is, as the Rangers have an opportunity and they hit the post, I thought they scored. The good news is for the Devils, they have been the best team on the road all season long. 28 road wins on the year, tying a franchise record. If they want to get back in this series, which obviously they have to, they'll have to do it at the Garden in a very tough environment. This is gut check time. If you're the Devils, this is gut check time. This might be the lowest that the Devils fan base has been all season long. Knowing that you're now halfway to being eliminated by your hated rivals, and might be, if everything continues to go the way it's looking, might be the first team that gets knocked out. Maybe the Islanders, I don't know. But
sure, yeah, maybe schedule-wise, but sure.
It will end up, as Donnell points out here, as that shot there by Jack Hughes gets popped up in the air. The score is going to be the same. It is going to end up being the same. 14 actually, maybe it's going to change as Capo Caco comes in, tries a toe drag, taken away by the Devils. 7 seconds to go. Jack Hughes comes into the zone, takes a shot, easily played by Shesterkin. He'll dump it out, and that will do it. As the New York Rangers come in to Madison Square, not Madison Square Garden. No, they haven't done that yet. They come into the Rock and win not one, but both games in New Jersey, and winning both games by the same score of 5-1, and take what feels like a commanding 2-0 lead in the best of 7 series here in the first round. I kind of feel like the game ended up being the same type of way. Not in the same order, obviously.
I was just going to ask you the question, what's changed since the other night?
We had a lead at one point. I mean,
okay.
We,
all right.
I mean, if you like, I'm just trying to be funny.
No, fair enough. Fair enough.
Nothing. Like no adjustments have been made.
Look at the stats.
VTech looks awful.
Yeah.
I hate to say it at this point, but he looks awful.
Right. Agreed.
I think it's time for him to be benched. Just gonna say that. I think it's time for Akira Schmid because, and I know he's a rookie, but here's the thing: you have nothing to lose at this point.
It's true.
Because what's great, what's the one big good news I will say is this. For as bad, like the Devils have been so bad through 6 periods that literally nobody is going to question any changes that they make because nothing they've done has worked.
Right.
Nothing has worked. You look at how Toronto responded after being embarrassed on home ice. They blew out the Lightning.
Having said that, look who stepped up. Tavares gets your hat trick, the guy you're paying $11 million. Austin Matthews points. Mitch Marner gets in there. William Nylander. Your guys, at the end of the day, and this has been a conversation that's been going through Toronto for the past couple of years, is, you can make all these changes at GM, head coach, whatever bottom 6 pieces you need to fix, whatever defenseman you need to fix. At the end of the day, it's your top guys that need to do something. And for the second game in a row, we saw, and I'm not even gonna count Jack Hughes' penalty shot because anybody could have took that fucking penalty shot. Yeah. For the second time in a row, Hughes, Meyer, Hischier, nothing. Not even getting on the board.
As quiet as church mouses, man.
Right?
It's really what
it's the guy, like the whole reason why you're paying these guys the money is that so they can do their fucking job.
Yeah.
You're paying Hughes. I don't know what the contract is.
7. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He is your number one guy, and he hasn't done dick.
Yeah.
So, having said
I agree with this, by the way. Going to say put Schmid, Curtis Lazar. I want Curtis Lazar in the lineup and Luke Hughes. Do it. I'm literally on board because there is nothing.
Yeah.
Not a single player on this team deserves to still play. Like, I'm being serious. Like, let's put it this way. The Devils have their 2 affiliate teams made the playoffs as well. Utica and Adirondack. They both won their first game in convincing fashion. We have a lot of young talent.
Bring them up.
Why don't you bring them up?
Bring them up.
Because it seems like right now they have more pride than this team right now.
Right.
Through 2 games.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Yeah, this is bad. I mean, this is bullshit. To put it bluntly, this is bullshit. Like, I know we get paid by draft. I'm sorry, but like this is bullshit. Like, I don't agree with any. Like, everybody's gonna say, like, why the hell did Brendan Smith play? Dude, Brendan Smith, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? If Boquist had played, nothing would have changed.
Yeah.
If Jonas Siegenthaler played, nothing would have changed.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You want, and with the comment that was just made there, like, you can change as much as you want in your bottom 6 and goal and whatever, but it's your fucking guys that you pay.
I know.
However much money it was to go do their fucking job, and they're not doing it. You think Meyer's going to get, if they, just as an example, if they lose in 4 and Meyer hasn't done dick, you think, who's gonna pay him in the offseason?
I mean, the Devils will probably end up doing it, but I think a lot of teams will look at of teams. And granted, not a lot of teams have cap space to give him the money anyway.
Right.
Like, what's he going to do?
Team playing for contracts this offseason.
Right. Erik Karlsson is still there.
Go make your money. Go fucking do something. Go look like in the third period when you're down 5-1. And you know what? This was great that they did this, especially in the Leafs game in game 1. And I'm sorry to bring that up again, but they made a fantastic point in game 1. Obviously, game 2, they won 7-2. But There was no checking. There was no physicality. There was nothing. The Rangers are smacking you guys in the mouth, left, right, and center. Instead of taking these stupid, shitty penalties and getting pissed off at the fact that they're kicking your ass left, right, and center again.
Yep.
Go show like you care.
Do something.
Go do something. Go make a clean hit. Good check.
Yeah.
Like, finish your checks. Go fucking do something.
Do something. Yeah, I mean, it's like you look at, and let me.
These are coming from guys. That's coming from me who hasn't played house league hockey in like 4 years, so I can't say shit.
Right, and Kyle's not even, and Kyle, like, this no knock either. Kyle's not a fan of the Devils either. He just sat here and watched 2 games in a row of the same result and the same vibe. I mean, it was carbon copy of game 1. What's going on, Michael Edge?
Yeah, we've been on.
Yeah. I feel bad we're ignoring. I don't want to ignore the guys too much. Michael Edge from 90 Minute Club. Good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well. They're good buddies of mine. What is the Devils' strategy in Game 3? I literally have no idea. I'll be very honest with you. I have no idea. I really don't know what to say at this point.
They need to get away from New Jersey, which is what they're doing.
Well, they will. Not very far, but yes.
Wait a minute.
I think they need to just get away from this fan base, which granted, it was there, but, and play in New York. That's all I got.
Yeah. I would just say stop taking so many stupid penalties.
We need Medette and net. Yeah, I know. After, if you're a Napoli soccer fan, you know what he's talking about. But yeah, I would have taken him tonight the way he played. Yep. There you go, Neil. Let your anger out. Yeah, I know. People sometimes come on here just so they can see me lose my mind. Hands down, most embarrassing game. It's up there of late. What are your thoughts on just
one? They were both 5-1.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on just Brad? Kyle and I just mentioned it. Right now, and my opinion has changed all the time this year with Brad because he's hot and cold. But if you were to ask me right now, I do not care if he comes back because he's not doing anything. He's not making me feel confident that he can help us.
Right.
And thoughts on all the penalties. I don't know why we all of a sudden became the most undisciplined team on the planet. And yeah, I know several of the penalties happened in the third period at the end when things unraveled. But still, like, it was crazy.
How many goals?
Worst defensive system I've ever seen from this damn team. I have a fear.
That's scary.
That Lindy Ruff is going to go 11 forward, 7 defensemen in Game 3. And that goes completely away from what the Devils are good at. And it's just crazy as I turned on the Seattle game just to have it in the background. And Seattle nearly just made it 3-0. They're just all over Colorado. I'm going
to go buy a Kraken hat tomorrow.
I might get a shirt. I want that white jersey. That white jersey is so clean.
We talked about bandwagons early on.
I think if the Devils do get knocked down the first round and Seattle keeps doing it, I think Kyle and I will just do Kraken games.
Kraken streams. Absolutely.
We'll just do Kraken streams. We'll have a great time.
I am doing Game 3 Avalanche Kraken. I don't care who wants to come on. That fucking arena is going to be electric.
Dude, it's going to be great. And you know what's great? It's underground. Technically, like, where it's built, it's like underground.
Yeah.
So, like, it's hilarious to look at. But somebody needs to release Wood. I think Wood is definitely on the verge of being done. Wood literally gave his team over half those penalties. He had an awful game. Hughes needs to get goals. Also, Forza Napoli. Severino, keep up the amazing work. Thank you, Michelangelo. Appreciate it. Forza Napoli. Appreciate it, buddy. Nobody was paying attention to Kreider. Again, the motherfucker was standing in front of the net.
And he tipped it.
By himself.
I think.
He would have had a picnic.
Yeah.
He's just chilling. He was literally camping in front of the goal. I get it. Yep. Andrew B's back. He says, New Jersey lost. Leaf is unbelievable. All right.
Oh, my fucking God.
Don't start. No. Don't start.
Leafs are going to win the cup.
Crap. Yeah. He's your first brat. I don't. He's sure. By a country mile.
It's not even close.
I mean, are you talking about at least Nico had 80 points this year. Now, granted, he hasn't done anything in the playoffs, and neither is Brat.
Neither is Hughes.
Nico has had a couple of shots on goal. Brat doesn't have one. That's bad. I mean,
I know.
It's crazy. I don't know if you saw this, but you are the best YouTuber ever, in my opinion. Thank you. Thank you, Liam. We appreciate the compliment. very much.
Wait. Who's he talking to, though?
I think he's talking about both of us, honestly.
Fair enough. Yeah, I agree.
Bro, like I have a friend who's like a Hurricanes fan, and he just texts me and he goes, "Dude, what the f- is wrong with your team?" And I'm like, "Okay,
Well, I
buddy,
don't fucking know.
I don't fucking know. All right, worry about your Hurricanes,
Yeah.
which you really shouldn't worry because you're probably going to sweep or win in 5 at this point
Yeah.
with the way that the freaking Islanders look." But
Do we have any more comments and questions? What do we got?
Maple Leafs are chokers. They haven't won since '67. That's true. Danelle says I'm a cool guy. Thank you. But yeah, I think honestly, I think we've been on here long enough. I think it's very much time to.
Let's get our closing arguments then.
Yeah, of course. Kyle, honestly, what do you think, man? After 2 games,
It's not over. It's not. Right? I think, yes, you're going to go away. I mean, it'd be great if they could travel a little bit further, right, for games 3 and 4. It's going to take a Herculean effort. It is, because as much as we've been bashing on the Devils and how bad they've been, I don't think we've been really looking at how fucking good this Rangers team is. Right? They made it, they started to turn up a little bit. The wheels started turning a little bit towards the end of the season, and all of a sudden, this team is a problem. This team's a problem. This is a team that you could very well see in the Stanley Cup final. I think they have the best chance to beat Boston, in my opinion, if they get to that point. For me, it comes down to depth, right? And, we maybe talked about it where Bratt's not doing anything. You guys on your bottom 6 maybe haven't contributed as much. Even the top 6 guys. Nobody's done anything on the Devils. Fuck that. Are you kidding me? Right. For what we've seen. Yeah, but just to kind of quickly say, like, as much as we have been bashing on the Devils and how bad they've been, and we've explained why, we do have to give credit to this Rangers team who's just been phenomenal, right? And I don't
and that hurts as a Devils fan. That hurts me to admit.
And I don't know if it's going to stop, because as soon as they step on that ice at MSG, even before the puck is dropped, those Rangers fans are going to be ruthless, man. They're going to be ruthless against the Devils, and I understand wanting to bring Luke Hughes in and all that. They're going to tear that kid apart. So, whatever. It's 2-0. It is what it is. You could have lost these 2 games in overtime. Move on. It's game 3.
Yep. I mean, there's another thing. Michelangelo, I would be more than happy to jump on. You got my social media, man. So just hit me up, and we could schedule a time, and you can Kyle Manifold on Twitter. Or is it Manifold Kyle, right?
Yeah, that was the only thing I could grab.
Fair enough. So yeah, you can DM him on Twitter, and we could definitely work something out. But in terms of where I'm at right now, I mean, I don't think, I keep thinking, especially over the last couple of years, that like the worst has finally gotten here for the Devils, and then it's only up from here. It kind of feels like that, like right now we're at the lowest point. If you're a fan of the Devils, you're at a low point. If you're a Rangers fan, also if you're a Knicks fan, you're on cloud 9 right now.
Right.
I mean, granted, the Knicks got blown out last night, but that's whatever. Right. They still tied. They're 1-1 going to the Garden, which, by the way, think about that. Both the Rangers and Knicks are coming home at the same time.
Yeah, because the Knicks will play tomorrow night.
Awful.
Yeah, Knicks will play tomorrow. I mean, I feel bad for those workers. Oh.
They better get some bonus next week and change.
Yeah, so I think my question for you then would be, it's game 3. This series is not over.
Nope.
I'm trying to help you here. Okay.
No, I get it.
There's hope. There's always hope. All right. How many times have we seen it throughout the course of history in the playoffs where it's been 2-0 and there's been a comeback? It starts with 1. It's going to start with game 3. So, do you trust Vanacek to go back in or not?
Nope. Okay. 9 goals in 2 games will do that to you.
Okay. If that's the spark you need.
His confidence is so shot right now. Right. He's lost.
Right. And speaking on that for you real quick, before you finish it up real quick, speaking about confidence, when they take out Miles Wood, right, you're already losing the battle. You're already losing the series when you're taking guys out. And you said it too, like Lindy Ruff has been taking guys out. what else do you have to lose? As much as you want to make these changes, these guys got to find something. So,
I think, by the way, Michelangelo was asking you, Kyle, how do you spell that? I guess your Twitter account.
Oh, it's so last name and then first name. If you want to,
I'll actually put it in the chat for you. I'll
if
put
you
it.
guys want as well, like just go up on the THPN channel as well for Twitter. I'm mainly on there to answer any questions too, so you can always shoot us a message on there as well.
I think that's it, right?
You got it.
There you go. So yeah, Michelangelo and anybody, if you want to follow Kyle on Twitter, that is his Twitter handle. Yeah, I mean,
let's close it out.
Maybe I'm just I don't want to go live on Instagram tonight. But anyway, look, the Devils right now are at the lowest you could be right now in terms of being embarrassed. You've gotten outscored 10-2 in 2 games at home to the Rangers, who are at the highest of highs. All it takes is one game to turn this around.
One game.
If they go into game 3, regardless of who's in net, regardless of who's playing where, and they win, no matter how they do it, all of a sudden, the Rangers go and say, oh, they came to play. Oh, we might be in trouble. And if one game can turn into 2, and 2 can turn into 3, and 3 can turn into 4, and so on and so on.
Yep.
Like we keep talking about from the Devils, all they need is that one spark. And we don't know what that is. We thought maybe Eric Haula's power play goal, giving the Devils the lead, was it. Turned out to not be the case. So the Devils, 48 hours from now, or less than 48 hours, they got to find the answers and they got to find them fast, or this series is going to be gone. The series is going to be over in a flash. So
look on the bright side. We'll cover the Kraken.
Exactly. Cracking up 2-0 after 1, by the way. Before we wrap it up really quickly, I just wanted to see if anybody got close to the prediction, and it actually ended up being Jacob. He said 6-2.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, you said 5-2.
I said 5-2 Devils. He said 6-2 Rangers. So he was close. So Jacob actually was pretty accurate when he said about potential blowout, and that was it. But at the end of the day, guys, I'm still going to be here. This is going to be interesting. We'll see how things progress. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. Sorry we went a little bit long at the end there, but it's what we do. We enjoy hanging out with you guys. Don't forget to leave a like on the stream before you go. Also subscribe and punch notification bell. New live watch-alongs every day here of the Stanley Cup playoffs. I'll be here. Kyle will be doing games. We have a bunch of other hosts that will be doing games throughout the playoffs. So make sure you guys are ready for all of those. You do not want to miss it. Follow the Hockey Podcast Network on all social media platforms at HockeyPodNet. Follow my good buddy Kyle, as I mentioned before, on Twitter. Show it again at Manifold Kyle. Follow my podcast, the Devil State of Mind podcast, on Twitter at Devil State, Instagram at Devil State of Mind, and give us a like on Facebook as well. New episodes of the podcast usually out every Monday and Thursday, but during the playoffs, I will have an episode out the day after each game. So I had one out after game 1. I will have one out tomorrow covering literally the same game. But same result anyway.
Cool.
But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Kyle, any parting words?
Yeah, no, just thanks, guys. Again, appreciate it. Thank you for liking. Thank you for staying. I know we had a lot of people join tonight, so that was always good. Yeah. No more streams for the rest of the night. I know we won't be covering the Kraken in that. I believe I will be doing it tomorrow, though, with the Stars and the Wild. So if you guys do want to check that out, I'll be doing it on my own. I might see if anybody else wants to join if they want. But yeah, we'll be doing that. And then, Neil, I'll be back. It's going to be okay. I'll be back.
I'll be back Saturday, 8 p.m. By the way, 8 p.m. start time. It'll be on national television only, ABC. So most of you who are watching this probably will be able to watch it.
Yes, finally. Finally.
So there we go. 90 Minute Club says, "Let's go Devils. Never give up."
That's how you close it.
That's the way you look at it. I think that's the way we got to wrap it up.
There you go.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and we will see you in the next live watch along. Once again, the final score, Rangers with another convincing win on the road in New Jersey, take a 2-0 series lead, winning this one by the same score as game 1. They win it 5-1. So for Kyle Manifold, I'm Neil Villapiano. We'll check you all out next time. And as I always say at the end of every live watch along, Rock on.